multiple reports, Seahawks extending President of Football Operations John Schneider through 2030. We're going to talk about that in 30 seconds.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
We are live from Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Our coverage of Seahawks training camp brought to you by The Landing in Renton. We were going to start with the trade deadline, which is already tomorrow. I can't believe that, but we have to instead start with some breaking Seahawks news. Per multiple reports, the Seahawks are extending President of Football Operations John Schneider through the 2030 season. Bump, Brady Henderson back in June, cut 16, might have predicted this one.
Here's another interesting name for you. Not a player. How about the general manager? I could see the general manager getting an extension from the team. I have not heard this from the Seahawks. This is not me reporting this. This is just my own kind of speculation on the subject, just based on the fact that he's kind of late enough into his last contract that, you know, I could see them wanting to lock him up.
Sure, it's not Brady. Sure, it's not you reporting it.
I'm so happy for Brady. Because in this business, if you can predict something like that, man, you pat yourself on the back. Brady's not going to do that, so I'll do it for him. Good call there, Brady. But this doesn't surprise me at all. He's 147, 96, and 1 as a GM. 10 playoff appearances, 2 Super Bowl appearances. Obviously, you know, 1 win. 10-9 playoff record. Now, went back and looked back at the All-Pros that he's had. He drafted Bobby, Earl, Richard, acquired Marshawn Lynch. He got an All-Pro deal. Max Unger, Tyler Lockett. DK had a second team. Cam Chancellor, acquired Diggs. He got some love. Mike Bennett. Like, he's done a decent job. And I know that it hasn't had the results every year that people have wanted. I know that you can talk about the offensive line and say, why hasn't he spent money there? Everybody has their flaws. But this does not surprise me. And I'm happy for him.
Yeah, we were looking it up earlier, Bump, the 4th longest tenured GM. Obviously Jones, who I know people kind of look at the Jones family, or now Steven as being the GM, but technically since 1989, Jerry Jones has been there. Mickey Loomis has been with the Saints, obviously, since 2002. And then in the 4th spot, you have John Schneider, who, along with Howie Roseman out in Philly, has been here since 2010. That is a really respectable amount of time. And I think, too, when you're a GM for that long, you're going to have people that are going to find flaws, going to find moments where you failed, because half of, I don't even want to say half of football, 31 teams fail every year at accomplishing their goal. And this team has done really, really great things, has had its winningest stretch of football under John Schneider, and also partnered with Pete Carroll there. And like you said, people will point to the offensive line. I think for a stretch of time, they were missing with their draft classes. Like, I think from, I'll say, like, you got some good guys in 15. Lockett was 15. Frank Clark was 15. But that kind of like 17, 18, 19, like you kind of went a stretch where you weren't getting a ton out of your first-round picks. You weren't signing them to second deals. We've already mentioned the offensive line. You weren't able to rebuild that defense. I do think that John has learned from those mistakes. Not just had the last couple draft classes been good, but you've heard him talk about, hey, here's how we've changed our approach to the draft.
Right.
Here's what we now have learned to value in players.
Yeah, 17 was rough. You drafted Malik McDowell. We all know that story there. Ethan Posick as well. You got Shaq Griffin, who's welcome back, right? Lane Hill, Nazir Jones, Amar Darbo. Like, none of these guys are still in the league. Demo's still in the league. 2018, Rashad Penny still playing, Rasheem Green. We got Will Dissly, Trey Flowers, Michael Dixon, who's the best punter in the game. Apparently he's getting paid that way. He's still in the game. But no, it didn't hit. You didn't really start hitting until 2019. You got DK Metcalf out the deal. We know what's going on there. Cody Barton was a decent linebacker, still is. I believe he's with the Broncos now at this point. But then from there, he kept getting better and better. In 2020, Jordan Brooks was a great linebacker for this crew. You got Damian Lewis, Kobe Parkinson. Freddie Swain was up and down. 21 was a bust, and then from 22 and on, you hit. But that's the life of a GM/president is you're going to have drafts where your evaluation just isn't hitting like it has in the recent years. So, yeah, you can point out his flaws. I'm sure we'll get some texts talking about what he has done and what he hasn't done. And we can say that about any GM in this game. But I think for stability, you keep John Schneider here. I think that him and Mike McDonald must have a pretty good relationship. He brought this guy over, and you got to let him kind of see it through with this guy as well. So it makes complete sense. And I like the last few draft class. Now it's about developing these guys. That's one thing, too. John don't develop nobody. He drafts them and says, here you go, coaching staff. He's there to mentor and give his 2 cents when it's needed. But for the most part, it's up to these coaches to develop these guys.
Yeah, and I think moving forward, a question that we have yet to have answered about Schneider, but we're starting to see the pieces come together, is, well, what is a team built kind of in his mind start to look like? We've seen like freaky athletes be drafted. Not that Carol wasn't a fan of like crazy athletic dudes, right? We talked about the Brock body show. I'm sure Carol was also a big body show person. But I think that one of the biggest tasks ahead for John is very obviously at quarterback. We are expecting a Seahawks team that's the sum of its parts, but potential to be a really elite defense and just do enough on offense. It's not loaded up with top level talent in the way that Philly is, but the idea is that you're well balanced the way that Philly is.
Right.
Ultimately, for like repeat Super Bowl appearances and wins, you do kind of need that franchise guy. I think I was listening to, God, I forgot. I reference these podcasts and then I can't remember what they're called. I want to say it was Nate Dice, but I'm not entirely sure. Oh no, it was Nick Wright on with Mina Kimes podcast, and he was talking about how in the last, 20 years or something, the only team to get back to like repeat a Super Bowl or get back to a Super Bowl with that same starting quarterback was something like prior to Jalen Hurts doing it, like the Seahawks with Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And it was people not named Tom Brady, not named Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
So otherwise you had like the Eagles who went there with Foles and then later went there with Hurts. Or you had teams that would go there with like different guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for that kind of consistent high level, elite level winning, you do need to find that guy.
Yeah, I'm going back into my memory bank, and you're right. If you exclude Patrick Mahomes from this situation, it's the last, 15 years. It's Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
So that says something. We also can't ignore that the Legion of Boom had a lot to do with it, right? But you still need stability at the quarterback position. That's something that we know from what we hear from John and how he approaches the quarterback spot. That's where he thrives a bit. That's why I'm interested to see how Jalen Milroe kind of pans out. One of the questions I get a lot when I'm out in the streets talking to the people and stuff is, what do you think about Jalen Milroe? Can he be the guy? Well, are we going to see him this year? And I tell people to pump the brakes on him. I'm like, look, man, let him develop a little bit. You don't have to see him this year. So I wonder what the notes look like on John Schneider's notepad when it comes to Milroe, because that's where he does his thing. But he's done a good job these last 3 drafts, man. 22, you still got some starters out there. Charles Cross, Boye Mafe, K9, Abe Lucas, Kobe Bryant, Reek Woolen, Drake Young is still out there. So only missing 2 guys. In 2023, Spoon, Pro Bowler, Jack Smith and Jigba, D. Hall, Zach Charbonnet, Olawatimi, who's going to get the start. Kenny McIntosh just got banged up. Sorry to hear that from my man. And then 24 was good as well. We'll see what 25 looks like. I think this is deserved, and I think that it's important to have stability. It's important to allow him to help Mike McDonald grow too. It'd be awkward for him to hire Mike McDonald and then for these guys to bring another guy in a year or two. I think they need to ride this thing out together. So no, it's just this is good news, folks. This is good news. I'm not seeing much on the text line, so if you
no
have
anger,
any,
no angry people saying I hate it.
It seems like people are okay so far with the signing.
I mean, I think your point about McDonald is absolutely right. I mean, it's the idea is, hey, you've hired this new head coach. We've allowed you, as you know, whether it's Seahawks chairwoman Jody Allen, the Seahawks organization, we've allowed you to oversee a new era of Seahawks football. We have to give you some time to see that through. And if we get into 2027 and you're not in the playoffs and you're not winning and things are really struggling, even though this contract's through 2030, sure, that doesn't mean there's not going to be pressure. But I think many people, I mean, I know that, Paul Moyer has talked to you about this, but I think quite a few people see it as a series of steps that the Seahawks are taking right now, that you're looking in like a 3-year plan, a 4-year plan. And while that can sound frustrating because it sounds like saying the goal isn't to win the Super Bowl this year, the goal is, but with the understanding that you're building towards something. Yeah.
It's old saying, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And a marathon in this case, I think, with this new race that John Schneider's running with Mike McDonald is 3 or 4 seasons. I think last year was a great start. I know you missed the playoffs, but you found an identity with this defense. You figured out what you don't want with this offense. You have a number one receiver, and you coming into this year, you're trying to make it all work now. So it's a process, man, and it's a process that some people don't enjoy because you want that instant gratification. I understand that. And what I would say to those people is just look at the little battles that you win this year. And what can that battle look like? Maybe they're top 15 when it comes to the run game, right? You're establishing yourself. You're building a culture in the run game. Maybe you're top 10 when it comes to turnover differential, right? You've gotten better taking care of the football, and your defense is taking the football away. You got to start building towards those things. Every now and then you get a team that just comes out of nowhere, like the Cincinnati Bengals that year with Joe Burrow, because you accumulate so much talent. But you got to be a bad team to get a guy like Joe Burrow, and this team hasn't been bad. We talk about Mike Tomlin not having a season under 500 and having all that success. You know, you could compare John Schneider to that. Now, you've had a losing season or two. I'm not saying that. But the sustained relevancy of this team, I think, is a tip of the cap to John and other people too. And I'm sure if John were on right now, he'd show everybody some love in this building because, as he knows, it takes a village, but he's the leader of this thing.
Is there something that when it comes to John Schneider's time here in Seattle, and I understand we can't completely strip that away from Pete Carroll. We've only had a couple years of that. But when it comes to John Schneider's time here in Seattle, where you go, this was something that, to me, it could be a particular move. It could be, you know, a draft pick, a decision, a trade, whatever, maybe a series of moves that he's made where you go, I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for this. Like he's done a good job with this, and feel free to think as outside the box as you want with it. And of course we'll approach the opposite side of it, but, right. You don't get an extension for no reason. And I know it sounds like, people want like a very fair and balanced approach, but I think a fair and balanced approach for a GM that has overseen this much success is one that includes accolades. I
think one of the best moves he ever made was getting Quandre. I think Quandre, when he was here, what he put in 4 or 5 seasons, something like that.
For a 5th-round pick.
For a 5th-round pick, like a 2-3-time Pro Bowler. He was a leader on this team, made some big plays as well. Those are the type of moves that I think should be highlighted. I'm sure there are more out there, but just initially when I think about a move that John made that I really love and pay dividends, for me, it starts with Quandre. Then you can go back deeper and look at the Percy Harvin deal. Drama with Percy, but he did make one of the bigger plays in the Super Bowl, and you got the most you could out of him. So, yeah, not every move is going to hit, man. That's just, if every move hit, he would be a genius, and this game would be too easy. But that's not how this goes, man. GMs make mistakes, and so is John. His biggest flaw is, to the public, would be just the offensive line. So what if this offensive line just clicks this year? Do we look at John now and say, okay, you knew what you were doing. You got the right guys, but they're in the wrong scheme. You get rid of your OC with Mike McDonald's help, of course. You're bringing a guy that can get the most out of these dudes. I think if he were to do that with Mike McDonald, Kubiak, and this offensive line, then I think it doesn't erase what he hasn't done, but it covers up the blemish with some makeup a little bit. Well,
you don't want to compare an era of Seahawks football wherein they've missed the playoffs 2 out of 3 years with an era of, if you're looking at Howie Roseman, who's been a GM for the same time period, with an era of Eagles football where they're coming off a Super Bowl win and have just won all of this, right? Like, you want to look at all the positives. Why are you laughing?
Oh, because apparently I said gratisfaction.
Did you say gratisfaction?
I just made up a new word.
Did you hear that?
A few people did. That's like 5 or 6 people.
Do you remember when you said it? We gotta have Matt find it.
I don't. You know what? It's in the dictionary now.
I want to find the first time someone said it.
Gratisfaction.
People want instant gratisfaction.
Instant
gratification and satisfaction.
Yeah. Y'all feel me though, right? You feel me?
Okay,
gratisfaction.
Someone at 1012 texted in, what's gratisfaction?
You know what it is. You don't need no definition. You know what it is. Gratisfaction.
I totally missed it.
You know why? Because you understood it.
Yeah, because I felt it. Because I received it. Oh, God. I do want to say one small thing about John Schneider. He does get a lot of critique for the Jamal Adams trade. I, though, tend to value aggressiveness with GMs, and like any big hitter, you're going to strike out. And would I like those 2 first-round picks back? 1,000%.
Yeah, for sure.
I sure would like to
For
see those
sure.
back here in Seattle. I'm sure he didn't like seeing them go, but I can't, out of one side of my mouth, critique the Mariners for not being aggressive, and then on the other side say, oh, but you can't, make a risky move or whatever. It's like inherent to any trade is risk, especially
Right.
a big trade.
Yeah, it is.
So didn't love it in hindsight, but applaud the effort to really attack and try to make your defense elite in a Super Bowl window. And I also think the Russell Wilson trade, I can't overstate how, in hindsight, that was a win for Seattle. Because at the
was.
time, Seattle was dragged,
Yeah.
absolutely dragged. People thought they were being ridiculous. This is the worst trade you could possibly make. You guys are absolute idiots. Our sister station in Denver was like, what are you guys talking about? Russell Wilson's amazing. We don't know why
They
you
thought
did
they
this.
hit the lotto.
They sure did. And like all the lotto tickets I've bought, it was a dud. So I did get $5 once. Oh, that was a scratch ticket.
Really? You won $5?
On scratch tickets. You can
Still.
win. You can win pretty frequently on
gambling.
scratch tickets.
Yeah, my grandma won like $1,000 one time.
Yeah, but the lottery I've never actually won. If I did, I just wouldn't show up. I'm just kidding, Kyle. I'm just kidding.
If you ever win, just keep it low. Keep doing your job. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to say anything, but there would be signs.
There would be signs.
There would be signs. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Mariners lost 6-1 to the A's on Tuesday, but they did call up hot-hitting first baseman Tyler Locklear from Tacoma. What's the real headline?
We all love Gino Suarez, but this team could sure use a 5th starter.
Yeah. Not looking good for young man Logan on the mound as of late. But Tyler Locklear, welcome. You've been balling down there, and you've been promoted. 19 home runs, 82 RBIs, 18 stolen bags. I wasn't ready for that one. I didn't think he had that in him. A /316, 401, 542, OPS at 942. Curtis, you said what the last few games his OPS is like 1,700?
Yeah, it's almost
absurd.
Fetty Wap. I saw 1738. It was like 1745 or something ridiculous.
Hey, I love it. My only question, and I asked you, Curtis, and Stacy, I go, all right, so what's the deal at first base? You got Naylor there. It sounds like Naylor doesn't do too well against lefties, so Locklear will get his shine there. It just seems like it's happening too early because I want to see more Josh, but I also understand them promoting a guy who's been balling at the lower level.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 2, Bengals star Trey Hendrickson has reported to camp, but without a new deal. What's the real headline?
Maybe the Bengals realized they need a defense to win games.
Yeah.
Maybe it occurred to them like,
Right.
oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. We thought that Jamar and Joe could be enough. We could just score 45 a game and win.
He says, look, if we average 42 points, no one should beat us, right?
Exactly.
Nah, that's not how this works, man. You got to disrupt quarterback's timing. You got to stop the run game. You need someone to lead the charge, and that's what Trey does for this team. So if he's there, that means that they're having positive conversations. If not, he's still be in Florida making reels, showing us the highway or whatnot. So I'm happy that he feels like he's being appreciated enough to at least show up and help these guys out, whether it be just mentally and spiritually. But good for Trey. It looks like it's moving in the right direction. Now, finish the deal, get it done.
Have you we get asked, not all the time, but occasionally questions on the text line about, the Seahawks should trade for Trey Hendrickson. Have you all but eliminated even that possibility from your mind?
I never thought it was a possibility.
Yeah, I don't
it sounded good. You had the money to do it, but I don't think you necessarily needed Trey Hendrickson. Obviously, you want to acquire as much talent as possible. But, no, I think this defense is good. They still might add because of the situation with Chenna, but you probably don't have to go that big.
No, you can look at an older veteran, Brady Henderson of ESPN. We gave him some props to open the show for predicting that John Schneider could be extended, a month before it happened. We're talking with him about, hey, where's an area on this team that they still need to add? And no hesitation, immediately Brady says they absolutely could add, probably do need to add. And I'm looking at the edge rushers, those outside backers, the pass rush in general. And he said, I know that they were interested in Von Miller. He mentioned another name that they could bring in that we'll get to coming up at 11:45. But he also said that as part of that, Trey Hendrickson doesn't seem a fit for him because this team hasn't often traded for a guy and then immediately signed him. It's like they trade,
Right.
maybe he plays under that deal and then they extend him, so you trade him with an extra year or something on there where you can figure it out. that just doesn't really fit the MO of what the Seahawks have done with their trades, even their big trades.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, ESPN's Adam Schefter reports talks between the Cowboys and Micah Parsons are going backwards. What's the real headline?
Someone tell Jerry Jones that doesn't mean back to a rookie deal. I like to think he's bargaining, he's going back and forth, and he's like, oh, 40. No. 38. No.
Did you
37.
hear little Jerry get on the mic today or yesterday?
Steven?
Steve, little old Jerry. I'm like,
Little
come on,
Jerry.
man. He says, you know what? It takes two. Sometimes the agent and the player don't want to get things done. Everything Micah Parsons has put out says, I want to be here, and I'm hurt that I'm not being offered. Don't put that on Micah Parsons. He's never came out and said, I don't want to be a Dallas Cowboy. He even came out and said, I believe that eventually is going to get done. I don't understand what they're doing. They always end up paying premium for their guys. Dak Prescott is not the best quarterback in the game. He's paid like the best quarterback in the game. You could have signed CD Lamb for less than $30 million because at that time, Tyreek Hill was the only receiver getting paid $30 million. So you end up waiting for everyone else to get paid, and then you have to set the premium and pay your guy top dollar. It doesn't make sense to my business mind. Jerry is a business guy, so just explain. I don't know what your approach is with this.
If you guys have to choose, including you, Curtis, which front office, GM, organization is worse when it comes to handling contracts for their stars? The Bengals, who are undeniably cheap, or the Cowboys, who are undeniably messy and end up paying a ton anyway?
Yeah.
I think it's the Bengals. Like, you don't know how good you have it with Burrow, Higgins,
Right.
Chase, Hendrickson, and
You're the only one of those teams to get past Patrick Mahomes.
Right, and they've treated all 4 of those guys as though they're replaceable, and they're not.
Bump. Also going Bengals here.
Yeah, it's got to be the Bengals. I mean, you have something so special on offense. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, they're on pace to be one of the best, if not the best, QB wide receiver duo of all time. You know what they don't play? Defense. They don't play defense. So, yeah, I'm going with the Bengals.
The entire text line, I keep looking, kind of keep an eye on it, just in case people have opinions you want to incorporate into the show. But the entire thing is just about gratisfaction.
Gratisfaction.
It's people just going like, I'm really gratified with with your answer on
Somebody
that one.
made up a definition with AI.
AI.
The gratification, the
Matt, we
profound
need to
sense
find it.
of fulfillment and joy derived from an experience that is both deeply satisfying and freely given, often invoking feelings of gratitude and contentment.
I
Some
wanna
people
find
don't
it.
enjoy because you want that instant gratification. I understand that.
Yes, Matt.
Matt, hey, as soon as I said it, Matt was on it already.
Okay, hear it one more
As soon
time.
as I said it. Some people don't enjoy because you want that instant gratification. I understand that.
How did I not hear that?
Because you knew it.
Oh,
you felt
God. They want that instant
it.
gratisfaction.
Gratification.
Okay, well,
And that's a word in the dictionary in 10 years. I need my money.
I know. I know that we want instant gratisfaction when it comes to Mariners trade deadline ads, but we're still here waiting. Coming up next, where the Mariners stand in their pursuit of Geno Suarez. Don't go anywhere.
Now batting for the Mariners, first baseman Josh Naylor.
The first contender to make the big move that says, we're all in.
Going and goodbye baseball. Josh Naylor, yes indeed.
You're now looking at a 1 through 6 in your lineup that's deep. It's legitimate.
Just one more day till the trade deadline. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports has you covered on 710 and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Feeling the heat? Cool off with Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 25% on 2024 ACs and heat pumps during the final days of the warehouse clearance sale. Plus, PSC customers get AeroSeal duct sealing for as little as $99. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
John here with Happy Hauler. Furniture and household items you plan to throw away? We work with organizations all over Western Washington to donate used items. Happy Hauler is Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-298-7906. 800-298-7906.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the Lee Johnson Auto Family. This is King. This organization's a special one. They call it the Lee Johnson Auto Family, and it's not just a name, it's not just some cliche. They foster an environment for us to become a family, to work together, to really become close, and they show us in a lot of different ways that they do value us. Is it perfect? No, no place is. But I've been very thankful to be here in the almost 10 years and have every plan to stay here for a lot longer and just watch it continue to grow.
He's fun and professional, which explains why so many people visiting Lee Johnson Kia ask for him by name. The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Are you frustrated with those trendy weight loss shots and not getting the long-term results you really want? This is Dr. Ryan Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and whether you've hit a plateau, can't handle the side effects, or watch the pounds creep back after stopping, there's a better way. Our program has helped over 4,000 people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. Our doctor-developed program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast. Ready for real lasting results? Visit eastsideweightlossclinic.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Did he just say Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is half the cost and works twice as fast as weight loss injections? Well, if that's not reason enough, you don't risk the scary side effects or gaining the weight back as soon as you stop. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is natural, and it works.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, and you can do our program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
A rumor roundup as we enter the last day before the trade deadline. From MLB.com, Mariners reporter Daniel Kramer, he talks about the M's pursuit of Gino Suarez. He said, while a good vibes-only reunion with the slugger would be a storyline for the ages, a source with knowledge of the Mariners' plans told MLB.com that the club is prepared to reach the deadline with first baseman Josh Naylor being their splashiest addition. Now, he adds that they've been also pursuing Minnesota's Willie Castro, and that obviously not necessarily from Daniel, but we know from Jerry DiPoto's interview with Jim Bowden that they're also heavily looking at bullpen arms and really adding relievers there. How would you feel if the deadline comes and goes tomorrow late afternoon and we find out that Josh Naylor is indeed the splashiest addition?
Do you remember what I said about this squad? I felt like they weren't going to be able to get Naylor and Gino. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be disappointed because that's what I thought was going to happen. But I would feel something. It wouldn't be disappointed. So, somebody let me know what the word is because I don't want to make up another one. But I would feel like maybe they tried and they were asking for too much. And they really want to keep some of the guys in their farm system and try to develop these dudes. Maybe that's the approach. Now, if they were to just get Naylor and not do anything when it comes to the mound, the bullpen, a rotation, then I'd be disappointed because we clearly need that fifth starter. No disrespect to Logan Evans, but he hasn't really shown much. Emerson Hancock, when he was here, he was up and down. And you just don't feel as secure as you used to be. People have texted in, well, Bryce Miller's going to get healthy. You want to depend on a guy you haven't seen for months? It's not fair to ask him.
Who wasn't great. He's been struggling.
But it's not fair to ask him to come in and just pick up where you left off last year. Not even this year. Picked up where you left off last year. He needs some rehab starts. So, no, I wouldn't be angry or be lighting them up because they did make a move. That would just tell me that the Diamondbacks are asking for too much. But you have to go get another arm.
I think where I'm stuck is like, in theory, you go, oh, the Mariners are typically not they're a relatively risk-averse club. They don't love spending a ton of money. They don't love making trades for guys without club control. They don't make big trades as a whole anyway. But they have been, comparatively, aggressive at the deadline. And we heard so many MLB insiders say, hey, watch out for the Mariners, including guys who are well connected to that Mariners front office, like Jim Bowden, say, hey, the team to watch here is the Seattle Mariners. Like, I'm not saying they're going to come out and make the single greatest trade, but there's not just a lot of pressure, but also, like, they could be a far more complete team. In a weekend American League, this is exactly the kind of team that can and should be making moves. They got one of the best farm systems in baseball. They can outbid almost any other, AL contender. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I think because of that, I would be shocked if they left the deadline. Shocked, disappointed, and maybe angry if they left this period and exited that trade deadline, having only acquired Josh Naylor. I don't think that'll happen. Like, I don't think that they can not acquire an arm. How impactful that'll be is another question. If they leave the deadline without someone else that does or can genuinely make you better, lift you up, not just like some kind of like, yeah, we'll see what happens here. What are you doing, man? Quickly, Curtis, I know that last year there were not any top 100 prospects moved. It was kind of a weird trade deadline where the Mariners did get what they needed, but we entered this year wondering, like, well, maybe prospects will be more valuable to certain teams. Have we seen top prospects moved with other teams, or is this a continuing issue?
This is still kind of the same place where we were last year. There has not been a lot of top names get moved at the deadline. In fact, Kylie McDaniel of ESPN has a really good kind of it's like a continuation. It's like running throughout the deadline of like who have been the best prospects moved throughout the trade deadline so far. And his number one prospect right now that has moved is Brandon Garcia, the Mariners lefty reliever that they sent to Arizona for Josh Naylor. He was part of that package. That is the best prospect moved in any trade made so far, at least according to ESPN's Kylie McDaniel, who's super in tune with what prospects are doing. So it has been a very, very, slow market.
Bump, the text line said that they'd be appointed.
I like that one. Appointed.
Frustrated and disappointed.
Also, big up to Kevin and Callie for the definition for gratisfaction. But it's all about what you're willing to do as an organization, what you're willing to give up, what you're willing to risk. And it feels like the Diamondbacks are asking for too much in the eyes of the Mariners. There are some people on this text line that say, look, I'd give up whatever they want for Geno. But then we also have to remember that Geno will be a rental. So you would have to pray, wish, hope that he wants to stay here in Seattle. And who says that he would want to after the way that he was let go before that, right? It wasn't like it was a clean split and everybody was good. I mean, they're talking about his conditioning and all that stuff and kind of bad-mouthing him a little bit. So I could understand if he were reluctant to want to stay. My goal or my hope would be that he would get into this clubhouse and feel the good vibes that he helped create and say, okay, let's stay here and try to win a championship.
Curtis, I'm going to come back to you for this one because there are some relievers that Daniel Kramer says that the Mariners are interested. How would you feel about either being added?
I would love to see Juan Duran here in Seattle. I mean, that guy just throws pure gas. He would be really fun to watch, and, I mean, he would make your 7, 8, 9 probably the best end game of any bullpen in baseball if that were to happen. And Griffin Jax is also a really capable reliever in his own right. Just kind of looking at what Minnesota has to offer, he mentions Willie Castro, their utility guy. I mean, all three of those guys would help out this team in a big way. I think if I were to prioritize what the Twins have to offer right now, I think I would still try to go out and get Castro, especially if you don't think Suarez is a possibility. But Duran and Jax, that would make your bullpen go from, really fantastic with Brash and Munoz to end games to maybe the very best in baseball. And, hey, a great bullpen in October, that shortens games and puts games in your favor a lot.
I do love Ben Williamson's glove. His defense has been great. Love the idea of developing a young guy. I am concerned about third. It doesn't have to be Geno, but if they don't really add anyone there.
Yeah.
I know we talked about Castro.
Ben Williamson has made the conversation a bit more interesting with especially the last couple of times that we've seen him out there, right? We know defensively what he's capable of doing, but that's just not a need for this team. Obviously, you want to be solid defensively. You can't just have some Joe Schmo at third base and hope that he catches the ball or make that play. You want to be solid there, but his play has made it interesting. Not interesting enough for me to give up on a Geno or give up on adding. But if you were not to add anybody at third base, I think you feel okay. You're not super confident, but you feel okay, and you giving that young man room to grow. So you talk about development, that would give him a chance to do exactly that. I think I heard Shannon on the morning show today on the Brock and Salk show, and I think she kind of said the same thing, like, yeah, I mean, you'd want to get better there, but Ben has showed you enough to where you feel like there's some potential there. Nothing's guaranteed, though. So, I'll feel some type of way if they don't add it.
Joseph in the 360 says, problem is this Mariners team has been a middling team all season and is currently a fringe wildcard team at best. Not sure they're worth going all in. I agree with you, Joseph, in that they can be really frustrating and that at times they've felt middling. The American League as a whole, though, is kind of weird.
Middling type of division right now.
I really don't know that you can. I mean, the two best teams in the American League for the vast majority of the season have been the Tigers, who are, in theory, a better team than you with more talent, including 5 All-Stars, who you swept. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen every time, but I'm saying that they have their own weaknesses too. And then on the other side, the Yankees, probably, who ended up losing their hold on the East to the Blue Jays, who got really, really hot. So it's like there's a lot of talent. There's still a ton of competition for the wild card spot, but you're in it.
Yeah.
There's nothing that makes you significantly worse than those other 2 or 3 wild card teams.
Yeah, you're a half a
There's
game
going to be a
behind
good
Boston.
AL East team that ends up as the top one. But
Game and a half behind the Yankees. You're 4 games behind the Astros. You're in the mix. I mean, yeah, you look at their performances, and I believe I put in our email, the last 8 games have been win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. And that's the perfect way to describe this team. It's inconsistent, but everyone else has been inconsistent as well. If you are within reach, you do whatever you can to win more ball games.
Bump is just creating words left and right.
That's the people, man. I appreciate that. I like it.
Did you create another one?
Nah.
They're accusing you of creating another one. Maybe not. Maybe they're inventing one for you.
Oh, I stumbled through ball and rock.
Oh, that's not really creating a new word, though. You said, what was the word?
Gratisfaction?
You said gratisfaction very confidently.
Oh, yeah, that was.
So confident. Matt, I hate to be annoying. I do want to hear it one more time. I can't get enough of it.
Some people don't enjoy because you want that instant gratisfaction. I understand that.
That was You ran right through that.
I was confident with that. One
just kept it moving.
One of my best homies texted me, "Gratisfaction guaranteed."
I love it so much.
Oh man.
Oh God. All right, we'll keep an eye on all of these trade deadline rumors. Obviously, a lot to get to here. The Seahawks are closing in on the preseason, and we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch them on Friday, August 15th. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, August 4th. Get Off My Lawn coming your way next.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach McDonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Hey, what's up? It's Michael Bombas here to talk to you about Silver Reef Casino. Man, it's an easy drive up I-5, exit 260, and you are there. It's a great place to get away, recharge, and get your mind right. They got great rooms. They're comfortable, spacious, got free Wi-Fi. They also have tablets as well. Downstairs, restaurants for you. The steakhouse, I went there, it was good. Cantina, I went there, it was great. Also, I watched some games at the Portis Bay Sports Bar. The vibes are good, the TVs are everywhere. You're going to love it. And for my golfers, visit Loomis Trails Golf Course. 18 holes with water almost everywhere. Bring your patience. And also, they got a special promo. This month, you can win $10,000 every Saturday this month with a grand prize of $50,000. They have great events there as well. Neil McCoy there was on the 26th and some other stuff as well. If you're looking for events, get your tickets at silverreefcasino.com. Silver Reef Casino is not a secret anymore.
Dave Wyman joined by a very special guest, Dr. Daniel Landis. He's on the Swedish CyberKnife team treating prostate cancer and accepting new patients. Dr. Landis, what could patients expect during CyberKnife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out. You essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Where are your patients from?
We see patients from all over, patients from out of state, Alaska, Idaho, from all over the world, honestly, since it's such a short treatment.
How can someone get a hold of you?
Yeah, I would encourage patients to reach out to us directly. We'd be happy to schedule a consultation.
Thank you, Dr. Landis and the team at Swedish CyberKnife for the wonderful work they do. And remember, you don't need a physician's referral. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. That's swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
The 2025 Seahawks season is almost here. Get fitted for game days with jerseys, caps, and tees, including the 2025 training camp collection. Visit the Seahawks Pro Shop at the Landing in Renton and Lumen Field or online at Seahawks.com/pro shop.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package, or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details. You can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425-629-8476.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We are getting back to the trade deadline, back to the Mariners in 15 minutes with Yahoo Sports' Jordan Schustman. Cannot wait to bring Jordan on, who kind of hinted at a move that the Mariners could make shortly before they traded for Naylor. So well connected. Good at predicting these things. Can't wait to talk to him. Before we get to that, it's time for Get Off My Lawn. Bump's got 3 things grinding his gears this week. Bump, what's up first?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
All right, let's do it. First one. You know, training camp is where guys are trying to make the team. They're grinding it out. But I'm going to Cleveland. For some reason, I keep going back to Cleveland. But I'm going to talk about Cleveland, but this is for everybody, okay? I saw yesterday Flacco, 6 for 9. Shedeur Sanders, 9 for 9, 2 touchdowns. Gabriel, 8 for 12. Pickett, 0 for 0. My man again on reps, or he handed the football off. I don't care about training camp stats. Like, why are we really putting out training camp stats? Because you know why? Over there on the other side of the football, you got a guy named Myles Garrett. You think Myles Garrett didn't put himself in position to sack the quarterback anytime? He had all these opportunities. 9 from Flacco, 9 from Sanders, 12 from Gabriel, and no one mentions Miles Sanders. You know why? Because you cannot touch the quarterback. Yes, it's good that these guys are finding their receivers and they're making completions. Also, we just had Nehemiah Pritchett in the other day. They can't fully go after the football either. It's all about decision making. So these stats are just bogus to me. I don't know why we're talking about stats. The only stats, training camp stats I really care about right now are what's going on in New England or my kid Efton Chisholm. He's got 15 footballs the other day. So I got a personal investment with that one. But all these other stats don't mean anything because you know what? Shedeur Sanders could have went 9 for 9 but made 2 bad decisions, but the receiver just made a play and the DB wasn't allowed to do it. Flacco could have went 6 for 9, but Myles Garrett tapped him on the shoulder because you can't tackle him, and he goes out, he throws the football down the field, and you make a completion. These stats mean nothing to me, especially when you have Myles Garrett over there, who I know for sure put himself in position to make a sack. So stop posting these training camp stats. It means nothing. Let's get to preseason. Let's see how these guys perform when things are real. I know we're looking for things to talk about, but I will never sit here and tell you Sam Darnold went 10 for 12 the other day for 124 yards. You know why? Because I saw him get sacked twice. But he's allowed to throw the football. Can we please stop with these training camp stats? I hate them.
It would be really funny if they could have full contact with pads on during training camp. They don't really do a ton of, it's not really a scrimmage. You're going through mostly drills, and you'll have 11 on 11. But let's say you had a day of allowing yourself to actually scrimmage, and it's like Myles Garrett, 17 sacks in one game.
This is Myles Garrett. You think he's not getting to the quarterback? Come on, man. I guarantee you he barked at him several times while they completed one of their passes. Just stop with the training camp stats, please.
All right, what's next?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
All right, next up. Christian Wilkins, what are you doing, dog? Like, what are you doing? If you don't know Christian Wilkins, he pretty much fumbled it back. He signed a 4-year, $100 million deal with the Raiders. What he did in that locker room, what he's done throughout his career is something harassment. I don't know if I can say that on air. You fill in the blanks. Blank harassment. All right, and if you know anything about a locker room, especially an NFL locker room, there's like some phobia going on in there, right? It's like one of the most masculine locker rooms or places you can be. Now, there's room for everybody in that locker room, right? But you're walking around messing with these big grown men and making them feel uncomfortable. You know bad things are going to happen. When he was in college doing that stuff at Clemson, he can get away with it because he's an alpha dog, and none of those 18, 19-year-olds are going to say anything. But you get into the NFL, man, these dudes aren't going to play with that. And he's been in the league long enough to know you don't do things like that in any workplace. Not the locker room, the offices, at the corner store, wherever you work, you just don't do things like that. And I'm sure he's been warned. This ain't the first time. I'm like, come on, man. You fumbled $100 million. Someone's going to pick him up, though. Someone's going to pick him up. They're going to bring him into their camp. They're going to have a conversation with him. They're going to say, make sure you don't do any of those antics that you've been doing. But as an adult, you just have to know better, man. There are some things that go on in locker rooms that don't go on anywhere else. That's just the nature of the business. But this right here, I guarantee you, did not go well at any stop he was at. The locker room is a different place when it comes to stuff like that. You don't mess with dudes like that. And he just fumbled because that $100 million ain't going to be $100 million with that next contract he signs with, whoever he signs with, because of his antics. Just be a grown-up, man.
He's been linked to the Patriots, so I guess we'll keep an eye and see if they actually make a move and sign him. What's last?
All right, last one.
I'm 40.
This is a combo, okay?
Oh, 2 for 1.
2 for 1. I got introduced to Morgan Wallen the other day.
Like in person?
No, like just his music.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize that I knew some of his songs.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there listening to his album. I'm like, man, some of these are kind of bangers. I get why he sold out, 2 shows at Lumen?
Not you in your truck blasting Morgan Wallen.
I kind of understand. Hey, my favorite song he's got right now is called Miami. It's fire. I think even Rick Ross and Lil Wayne jumped on it, but I like the original version better. But I was trying to tag him on Twitter and be like, hey, man, I didn't know. Like, I see how you're selling out stadiums and stuff. I just didn't know. I wanted to show some love. He doesn't allow people to tag him. Let's open it up. I was trying to show you some love, Morgan, okay? Thank you for making your music. But this one is the real one, okay? Keurig etiquette, okay? You know what a Keurig is?
Is this going to be about me? I know what a Keurig is.
No, it's not about you. It's, you know, it's Keurig is when you get your little cup, you put your coffee in it, and the machine makes it. All right, if you are done making your coffee, grab the little cup and just throw it away.
I know that's right.
And just throw it away. That's all. It's just common courtesy. Now, I don't mind doing it. It's not like ruining my day, but it just shows that you are inconsiderate about the other people in your office. So throw your Keurig cups away immediately. Sometimes you forget. I get it. But I tell you, Stacy, every time I go to that Keurig in here, there's a cup in there.
There was one in there.
Yes.
I just went in there to get some hot water.
There's a cup in there.
There was a cup in there.
Exactly. Throw your cups away. That's all.
I think that the same person who leaves the cup in the Keurig machine does not put their grocery cart back.
Yeah, for sure. I will go out of my way.
They just put it right up on the curb. Oh, I'll let the attendant
Here's another one. Men, let's be gentlemen. You know how many times I've taken a elderly lady or a woman with some kids or something, I'll take their car for them. Like, look, you focus on getting your bags, and I'll even help with your bags, and let me take it away for you. Like, let's bring that back too.
Yeah. Bring it back.
Bring it back.
But seriously, you should always put your grocery carts away. You should always pick up things that you drop, including trash, and you should always take the K-cup out of the Keurig machine.
Take it out. That's all I'm saying.
You know, be an adult. Be an adult. Back to the trade deadline with Yahoo Sports' Jordan Schustman next.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music of the year.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach McDonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain and and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit BayAlarm.com today.
Feeling the heat? Cool off with Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 25% on 2024 ACs and heat pumps during the final days of the warehouse clearance sale. Plus, PSC customers get AeroSeal duct sealing for as little as $99. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Oh, it is the time of the season for pests. That's right. No one likes them. No one knows where they come from, but we can all agree no one wants them in their house. Mike Salk here for Crawl Pros, and they have a full-service pest control division now called Pest Pros. They can come to your house and do a full corner-to-corner inspection, take care of any problems, just like they did at my home. This is the time of the year you'll start seeing more ants in and around your home. You may also begin hearing a little buzzing outdoors. Bees, wasps, hornets, if they make a nest on your property, that is a huge nuisance. So please don't try to take care of those nests on your own. Simply call Pest Pros to have any nest removed and destroyed professionally before the problem grows or you and your guest ends up getting stung. Pest Pros is the full-service pest control division of Crawl Pros with eco-friendly treatments to keep ants, stinging insects, and all sorts of critters from making their way into your home. If you're worried about rodents, ants, or other bugs or an issue in and around your home, call Pest Pros or visit GoPestPros.com to schedule a free inspection at GoPestPros.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Summer is in full swing, and T-Mobile Park is the hottest spot in Seattle. Don't miss out on special events like the next Mariners Fireworks Night this Friday, presented by T-Mobile. Cal Raleigh and the crew are taking on the division rival Rangers at 7:10, and after the final out, we'll be lighting up the sky with an epic post-game show.
Holy smokes, what a firecracker! Upper deck number 34 for the big number.
Go to Mariners.com/fireworks to lock in your seats today.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Breaking news this morning from multiple reports, the Seahawks are extending President of Football Operations John Schneider through the 2030 season. The Mariners dropped Game 2 to the A's last night, 6-1. Series finales today at 7:05 p.m. Brian Wu on the mound. That's a 6 p.m. pregame show right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Our coverage of Seahawks training camp brought to you by The Landing in Renton. We are going to get to some X's and O's with 4 Down territory at 11:15. First, we're going to talk trade deadline, plenty of Mariners questions with Yahoo Sports' Jordan Schustman. And Bump, I think everyone is most curious about, obviously, the Mariners' potential pursuit of Gino Suarez. We read a report earlier from Mariners reporter for MLB.com, Daniel Kramer, that the Mariners are, quote, prepared to exit the deadline with Josh Naylor being their splashiest addition. I think that probably disappoints a lot of Mariners fans, but it doesn't mean they're done adding.
No.
They have other questions to answer. You can't leave the deadline without adding a reliever, without figuring out, a little bit of, if it's not going to be like, hey, we're adding a masher, it's, hey, we're adding a third baseman, we're adding some infield depth, we're adding an extra outfielder, whatever it is.
Yeah, they I would understand people being disappointed because you want the Mariners to go out and get the best bat available. And I'm sure they're trying to work out a deal. They're not just saying, we've done enough, we got Naylor, let's focus on an arm. But at some point, if you are having negotiations, you're not hearing what you want to hear, or you're not willing to give up what the team is asking for, you have to start pivoting. And what does that pivot look like? I don't know. But I'm with you 100%. If you don't get an arm out this deal, then now you're going to be disappointed, because we've seen what the fifth man in the rotation looks like. We've seen what the bullpen looks like at times if it's not Brash giving the ball to Munoz, and you're just not as confident as you used to be. You are in the mix. The AL West is the most mid-division in baseball right now. You're 4 games behind the Astros. You got a half-game lead in the wild card. You're there. So just take advantage of the opportunity that you put yourself in and hope that Naylor continues to hit the rock. Everyone else continues to play some good ball, but reinforcement is definitely needed.
Matt, I'm going to go to cut 1 here from Jeff Passan. Again, if they don't add Gino Suarez, well, okay, fine, but they absolutely need to add a bullpen arm, and if they do, good things can happen. Take a listen.
If they get, I think after I was on last week, Logan Gilbert went out and absolutely shoved, and then we saw 4 innings in his last start that looked like classic Logan Gilbert, and it was a little rough after that. But if they get the pitching, and if they get just another arm, maybe 2 out of the bullpen to solidify it, this is a good team. This is a team that can win the American League, and I say that more because the American League is just kind of than the fact that the Mariners are great. But, hey, you play the hand that you're dealt, and every team in the American League right now has been dealt a hand where nobody else is that much better than them that they have no excuse not to go for it at this point.
All right, well, let's talk about the American League. And, of course, what the Mariners can do here with Yahoo Sports. Jordan Schustman joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Jordan, how's it going?
Hi, guys. So good to be here on this chaotic Wednesday afternoon here in the Eastern time zone. What are we waiting for, guys? Can we start making some trades already? Let's go.
Come on.
I know. I was so excited, obviously, with Josh Naylor going, and I thought like, oh my God, what if they actually do it? What if they add both Suarez and Naylor? I can't believe it. This felt like, just heavy wishing. When the Yankees moved on, I thought, well, surely the Mariners are the front runner here. With nothing being done yet, I'm wondering if the Mariners have also pivoted. Jordan, what are you hearing or reading when it comes to the pursuit of Suarez, particularly from the Mariners side of things?
Yeah, I mean, I've been working the phones like everybody else, but I'm also sitting here watching Gino play a baseball game in Detroit right now, so it doesn't seem like there's anything imminent. It's an interesting time. I do still think, and this is based on some of the reporting, I know Daniel Kramer at MLB.com, Adam Jude have been on this too, that it does sound like that the bullpen is still going to be a pretty big priority for Seattle. We've had so many conversations about Ben Williamson and whether he is a viable starting third baseman moving forward. I really could see it from both sides, but I also think that right now, after the Naylor addition, I do think bullpen is higher on the list of priorities, and I would not be surprised if the Mariners act accordingly. That said, Gino's still out there, and I do believe they're still going to try and get him. I just don't know if that's going to be priority number 1 over the next 24 hours.
If they are not able to get Gino, How do you feel about Ben Williamson just taking that spot over for the rest of the year in developing?
Yeah, again, I think that clearly the Mariners are comfortable with that being a defense-first position. And for as much as I think people are rightfully frustrated with some of his production in certain at-bats and that he doesn't feel like a major league quality hitter right now, he's at the bottom of the lineup, and there are other good hitters on this team. This offense should not be relying on Ben Williamson no matter what, and I don't think that they are. And so it's unfair to him to put that on him. Of course, Suarez would be a massive upgrade offensively, and maybe it would kind of catapult them into a different tier of American League teams, and I think that that's why they're considering doing it. But I also think that I think we're focusing on that spot too much, and I still think that the bullpen is more of a need at this stage.
Tell us about some of those arms that could still be out there. We saw the Angels make a couple deals a little under an hour ago. We know that there are two major names who remain with their current teams. So what are the big bullpen names that we're all kind of anticipating could be moved, and what do we need to know so far?
Yeah, got to keep an eye on Minnesota with both Yohan Duran and Griffin Jax. Both of those guys have a case for bringing back a massive haul. Jax, I believe, is leading all relievers in Fangraphs WAR over the last 3 seasons, even above Emmanuel Clase. We don't have to talk about him today, but that kind of gives you a sense for how valuable he has been over the last few years. And then Duran, of course, one of the most dominant closers. I think what makes Duran so special is that combination of ground balls and strikeouts that essentially only Andres Munoz is getting at the kind of rate among back-end arms. So both of those guys with 2 more years of control after this are obviously going to cost a ton. And I think the Mariners are one of those teams in position to meet the price if they're willing to get a little bit uncomfortable. I'd also be looking at Pittsburgh, guys like David Bednar, guys like Dennis Santana. Miami maybe has some guys. I know they're still kind of in the mix, but maybe an Anthony Bender, Ronnie Enriquez is an interesting name that I'd maybe keep an eye on. You know, there's a lot of relievers out there. There's never a year where any GM can go out there and be like, well, you know, there weren't any relievers available. That is just not a thing that exists. And so I expect them to find a way to add to the bullpen in some form over the next day.
Obviously, we've been talking about Geno. The whole nation is talking about Geno being moved at this trade deadline. But is there like a sneaky bat out there that maybe isn't getting enough love that you feel like is on the market?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, again, going back to Minnesota, I just think, and this isn't just for Seattle, but I think he fits great for them. But Willie Castro's a heck of a player. And you think about what a guy like Tommy Edman did for the Dodgers last year. Castro could make a similar impact, and maybe his offensive ceiling isn't quite what Edmonds is, but you consider that is another option maybe at third base. But the fact that you could move him around the field, the fact that he's a switch hitter, and that is also a rental, so that's not a longer-term thing. But guys like that are just so useful, and it's not just what you can do on a daily basis with your full roster, but also just in case of injury, being able to lean back on a Willie Castro. Obviously, Dylan Moore has sort of played that role for the Mariners in recent years. Unfortunately, Dylan Moore, as we know, is just not having that kind of offensive season. Willie Castro has been an above-average hitter who can play all these different positions, is a switch hitter as well, gives you even more versatility. So if they can link up there, I think in terms of like best-case scenario for a Mariners deadline, it probably does involve the Minnesota Twins, something with Castro, something with one of those relievers.
Speaking with Yahoo Sports' Jordan Schustman right now about the trade deadline, we are under 48 hours out. Are we seeing the Mariners, Jordan, be maybe uncomfortable with trading those top prospects, or are we seeing top prospects not being moved quite as much around the league? Because I was heading into the deadline going, well, God, they have been aggressive before, and they don't have a lot to spend, but they do have a lot of prospects. Surely they'll be able to move them.
You know, it's funny, and I think we have to remember what happened last year. They moved on Randy early. They gave up 2 prospects that people really liked, but were not necessarily way up on top 100 prospect lists, in Brody Hopkins and Aiden Smith, and that ended up being one of the biggest moves of the deadline. And I have a feeling that Josh Naylor is not going to be the biggest move of this deadline the way that Randy basically was, but it might not be as far off as people think, and the fact that they were able to get that done with Ashton Izzy and with Brandon Garcia is pretty impressive, right? And that's why you do jump the market, because you don't know how chaotic and what the prices are going to be over these last 24 hours. So the fact that they've kind of done that, they have that one thing they can kind of lean on. Obviously, fans want more. But the reality is in 24 hours or so, there are going to be a lot of teams out there that really added nothing. because then those fans are going to be a whole lot more disappointed. Of course, I understand all teams, fan bases want their teams to do as much as possible, and I do think Seattle's going to keep pushing.
Tyler Locklear, he's back. We're going to see him again, 19 bombs in the minors. What's his role going to be on this team? How do you see them mixing him into this lineup?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think that's the other thing to watch now moving forward. And I think Locklear maybe getting a chance, some DH reps, maybe some opportunities off the bench against lefties. Do they have a lineup that is imposing against left-handed pitching? That's not necessarily something that Naylor addresses. He's better against lefties than most left-handed hitters, but still, I think that's a weakness that the team identifies. What's exciting about Locklear is that there are very tangible mechanical changes that he made that kind of preceded this recent hot streak. At the same time, you see this time and time again across the league. We saw it with Locklear even when he came up last year. You can only trust AAA numbers so much, and it's not to discredit what he's accomplished. He's done all you could possibly ask him to do. If this recent change in swing and stance has unlocked something for him, that's really exciting. But what he's going to be asked to do for this team is a very different role than playing every day in the middle of the lineup for Tacoma. So adjusting to that less everyday opportunity at the big league club, I'm sure he's happy to be in the big leagues, but that's a different assignment than hitting third or fourth every day. How he can adjust to that as a young player is going to be really important. But I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of roll with him. Clearly, that's a player that they believe in to a real degree.
Jordan, the last we heard from Jerry Dipoto, he talked about the importance of really focusing on those bullpen arms. Seattle sure seems pretty confident with their group of starters. It sounds like Miller could be coming back here. They really like the pieces they have. I cannot believe I'm asking this. Like 2024 me would be shocked. But are you comfortable with Seattle's group of their 1 through 5 starters right now?
So that's a really good question. This is something that I've also kind of been thinking about because it hasn't been a focus, and it's been easy to look and be like, oh, well, now they're healthy, and Gilbert's back, and Kirby's back, and Miller's coming back. But it was already shallow beyond those first 5 or 6. I know Emerson Hancock, we had him come up and down. Logan Evans obviously struggled this week. Evans is also, and Hancock are both interesting pieces as far as trade discussions go, right? Because you could imagine those are the kind of young, controllable arms that teams are also asking about. But can you afford to trade that kind of depth who you are giving major league starts right now, let alone just as potential insurance for in case of another injury? That's delicate. Could you move a guy like Evans and Hancock and bring in like a shorter-term rental starting pitcher that's not necessarily someone you expect to start a postseason game, but that you can count on for quality innings in a way that maybe you can't necessarily with Evans right now just because of how inconsistent he's been. And again, Logan Evans' story, it's almost similar to Williamson. It's like the fact that he is able to do this is incredible considering how long ago he was not a good college pitcher. But at the same time, you have to understand the standards here. And if you're in a pennant race, if you're chasing down a division, every start's going to be really important. And if they think they can get a veteran that's a little bit better than Logan Evans for a not so expensive price, we just saw a deal like Chris Paddock, that wouldn't shock me either. I know it's not something people are focused on, but I don't think that would be such a bad idea.
Who's the most talented team in the division right now as it stands? Obviously, the Astros don't have a lot of their guys. It seems like everybody's pretty mid, as the kids would say. They probably don't say that anymore, Jordan. We're old. But who's the most talented team in this division?
Yeah, so it's interesting because if you think about just like the high end, if you're just like looking at like the best version of the rotation, the lineup, and the bullpen, I think Seattle has a great case because of what their best hitters and their best starters and their best relievers have been doing. That's Munoz, that's Wu, that's Cal Raleigh, right? If you just look at that trinity, not even before you even get to Julio, before you even get to Gilbert and whatever, how does that compare to Houston? It's just hard to talk about Houston because their whole team's injured. Right. Texas, it's like, okay, Corey Seager, Jacob deGrom, and then the bullpen, which has been better than you think, but it's like, who are we really talking about? You know, if we're talking about the Angels, okay, what are we really saying here? What starting pitcher are you really counting on here, let alone the bullpen, let alone the lineup, which of course has hit a bunch of homers, but Mike Trout's not the same Mike Trout anymore, so it's a little bit of a different conversation. That said, I think Seattle's right there. I think they have that case. And so that's why they should be aggressive. That's why, as you heard Jeff Passan talk about completely accurately, go for it. Go for it. Be aggressive. View this as an opportunity, and I hope that they treat it as such.
Stepping outside of Seattle for a couple questions here, maybe taking a look around the American League and the league itself. I'm going to go to the Yankees, Aaron Judge on the IL. How long is this like extending past that 10-day? Could it be a little bit longer? And what's a Yankees team without Judge right now?
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees have other good players, but when you have a player like Judge, it doesn't matter. You're just not. You're not the same team. It's not. It's not even close, right? And it's funny because you look at the Yankees' offensive ranks, and like again, they have other good hitters in Jazz and Stanton and Bellinger for the most part. But Judge's numbers are so absurd. They are pushing. And by the way, you could say the same thing about Cal Raleigh to a degree in terms of the Mariners' offensive stats, but I don't know. I think that this is an ominous injury. The fact that it wasn't worst case scenario, he needs surgery, is certainly good news. But even if he is back in the lineup, DHing in 10 days or a little bit more than that, what that roster looks like where you're trying to also get in Giancarlo Stanton at bats, are you putting him in the outfield? These are big questions for the Yankees. They're already in this massive hole in the division. Is this going to cost? Because again, they can't afford to be missing any games without Aaron Judge. And so that could push them into. I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be a postseason team, even if Judge misses 20 days or 30 days. But it's really hard to know when we don't know when he's going to be playing the outfield again. It just says so much about this roster.
And then are there any surprise buyers as we head into the deadline? Because I think as a Mariners fan, they're used to be going, okay, am I looking at the Tigers? Am I looking at it was the Yankees competing for you with Suarez, and who knows if they get Suarez now. Could there be another team thrown into the mix where suddenly we're eyeing them?
Yeah, one team I would look at is Kansas City. Because of what's going on in the AL Central right now, I know the Tigers have played better this week, but if Cleveland's about to trade people, if Minnesota's about to trade people, obviously Kansas City's still a fair bit back, but they already bring in Grichuk, they extend Lugo. That's a team that still might view the American League as at least consider pushing for, even if they're mostly realizing that we're trying to keep this core together for next year and kind of start over and have a better season than how this one has gone. I don't know if they have the capital to really do something aggressive and bring in a real impact talent, but it does seem like they're more likely to add than subtract, and that is a little bit surprising.
How legit are the Brewers, right? 35-12 since June, something like that. And, you talk about talented rosters. I asked you to look at the AL West. You look at their roster. There's not a lot of talent, I guess people would think. But how legit are they? Do you think they're contenders, or are we just seeing a special run right now?
I mean, at this point, the Brewers have kind of ascended into that group of teams, those small market teams, with the Clevelands and Tampa Bays, and you could argue they've passed them now, right? When you consider how successful that they've been under circumstances where you weren't necessarily expecting it. I think it's like, who cares who's playing? Well, great. Andrew Vaughn is now back to looking like he was at Cal. Awesome. I mean, that's good for them. And their pitching infrastructure is so impressive, even if you don't necessarily know those guys. That's another team. I think about them in Detroit in sort of similar fashion. I know Milwaukee's been better, but we've never seen, even when Milwaukee's been good, we never see them act as aggressive buyers. Do I suddenly think that's going to change now? You could argue it should, because they have a great farm to trade from. I know they got Danny Jansen. That's a little bit more of a depth piece, but I'd love to see them be a little bit more aggressive. That's another team that should want to win the World Series. Come on, Brewers. That should be something you should be aspiring for, and maybe that opportunity is there.
All right, before we kick you out of here, tell us what to look forward to with Baseball BarbieCast or with YahooSports.com.
Yeah, so big day coming up tomorrow. We're going to have a live podcast, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, half an hour before the trade deadline, Baseball BarbieCast. We had a show come out today that covers the Class A stuff, Bryce Harper and Rob Manfred and a couple other things. But if you want trade talk, I think they are going to start coming in here soon. Make sure you tune into our live trade deadline reaction tomorrow. You can find it on YouTube, find it all over wherever on social media, and we're excited about it.
Can't wait to listen to that one. He is Yahoo Sports' Jordan Schustman. Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, guys.
Our coverage of Seahawks training camp brought to you by The Landing in Renton. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what do you still want to see from the offense during training camp?
I want to see a screen look like it's capable of going to the house. In this Kubiak offense, we've been talking about how the run is going to set up everything, then the play action pass, the ball down the field. We've seen some of that already, and I've seen a screen be ran a few times. Not like they're not running screens out there, that the screen drill and all that good stuff, but I haven't seen a screen that was just butt naked wide open. This guy's definitely going to the house. That's a step that I want to see. Again, it's hard to evaluate exactly if a screen is going to go to the house. That's why I want to see one where the defense is just confused, right? Everything's flowing to the right. Sam Darnold's dropping it off to the left. I've seen them run screens in their screen drill, but I've yet to see one just look like it's going to the house. And easier said than done, right? It's hard to fool these professionals out there, but it has been done. I saw them do it with Kamara last year with the New Orleans Saints. So I'm waiting for that. Let me see a screen that I feel like, okay, you're going to get 40, 50 yards out of this.
You know what's so funny is the constant complaint outside of the typical like offensive line stuff, though it is related with the Seahawks, was always like, this offense cannot for the life of them either stop or run a screenplay. Like they cannot stop it, they cannot run it, what's going on? And then we saw it more than ever before with Grubb, but it was like that Thanos, what did it cost everything moment? Yeah. What did it cost to be able to have really solid middle screens?
Who ran it? Was it JSN?
All
yeah.
the time. Second down. All right, same question, but for the defense, something you want to see.
All right, so we've seen plays made by this defense. Well, I've seen what I think were potential sacks. We've seen Reek with an interception. We saw Morey with a pick six. But I haven't seen them put together 3 plays in a row to where they just dominated this offense and it's a 3-and-out. Again, hard to evaluate exactly what that is out there, but it's anticipation. It's me kind of looking one step ahead and saying, okay, that would have been a stop. That would have been an interception. That would have been a big hit right there. From what I've seen, we've been out here, 4 or 5 practices. I've yet to see the defense just go 3 plays in a row where they're just dominating. There are professionals on that side of the football as well. Sam Darnold is a professional quarterback. You do have some skills over there as well in JSN and Cooper Kupp and all the gang. But I want to see it. I want to see the defense get that 3-and-out and talk that talk, because you know we got some talkers out there. Spoon is going to lead the way when it comes to that. J-Love's going to be the professional stuff talker, and everyone else is going to join in. But I would love to see that today. And there was a sequence where maybe an offensive lineman jumped off sides, then they got to stop the next couple of plays. Yeah. But, you know, the offense kind of helped out in that situation. I just want to see one series where the offense is frustrated and there's nothing that they could do because they're overwhelmed by this defense.
Who's topping the list of all-time Seahawks talkers? Just yappers. Sherm? And I'll say of like modern era, but like when they're actually mic'd up, when we're seeing them at practice, right? Like it's got to be Sherm. Spoon is top 3. Quandre is 2, I think.
Quandre's sneaky. Quandre will like whisper in your ear.
I think he's loud and in your face about it.
Well, I think I've seen him do both. I've seen him be out there in your face, but I've also seen him like, it's almost even more disrespectful when he talks calmly to you. Like, bro, you know you're not going to make that play.
He'll slip in an insult.
You know, yeah, they call him Onk out there. That's Onk vibes.
They're undefeated. Those 3. Just completely undefeated talkers. Third down. If things go as planned, what opportunity do the Seahawks have this year?
Man, they have an opportunity to put together a good offensive line for the cheap. I'm looking at the highest paid offensive lineman in the game, and I'm scrolling all the way down to number like 50, and I've yet to see a Seahawk on this list. You have an opportunity. You have Abe Lucas, Charles Cross, looks like Olu has a starting job right now, and you have Zabel still looking for that 5th guy, and this can change the way that people look at John Schneider, the way that he evaluates offensive linemen, and the way that he drafts them. If they could hit, right, be top 15 to top 10 in that run game, I know that's a big asset, top 10, but get a solid foundation with 5 guys, maybe they stop talking about John Schneider not being able to put together an offensive line group.
4th down. Who's been solid in training camp, but hasn't gotten any love?
Drew Lock. Drew Lock has been solid. I'm not going to run his camp stats because I don't believe in those, but he looks like a solid professional backup quarterback. We saw what he did when he had to come in for Geno a couple years ago. No one's talking about him. It's Sam Darnold and his Milrow, but don't forget Drew Lock has played in this league for a while. He's been solid all camp.
All right, still to come. The Athletic has an interview with Daryl Morey, who says one recent NBA Finals winner deserves an asterisk bump. You're not going to be happy about it, but it's the truth. Okay. It's the truth. That's coming up next.
Now batting for the Mariners, first baseman Josh Naylor.
The first contender to make the big move that says, we're all in.
Going and goodbye baseball. Josh Naylor, yes indeed.
You're now
now looking at a 1 through 6 in your lineup that's deep. It's legitimate.
Just one more day till the trade deadline. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports has you covered on 710 and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit StateRoofing.com today.
The 2025 Seahawks season is almost here. Get fitted for game days with jerseys, caps, and tees, including the 2025 training camp collection. Visit the Seahawks Pro Shop at the Landing in Renton and Lumen Field or online at Seahawks.com/Pro Shop.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details. You can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at PCFgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425-629-8476.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/22/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of 1 unlimited intro line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. 1 discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile, Wi-Fi, and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
Are you worried about economic conditions, tariffs, and inflation? Are you tired of trying to time the stock market? Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given current market volatility. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Hi, I'm Scott Rurucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years with 0 investor losses, averaging double-digit returns since inception, and we also accept IRAs. Over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Feeling uneasy? Don't gamble your hard-earned money or risk your retirement. Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited openings for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It is The Timeline on Bump and Stacy. I didn't initially have this story on the timeline, but guess what I just saw come across my timeline? Curtis, if you have not seen me add this,
What's that?
you
What's
guessed
that?
too. A former Seahawks player shining at, and I'll give you a hint, Dolphins training camp.
Is it David Moore?
It is a wide receiver. It is a wide receiver you once championed. And really,
It ain't John Ursua.
you better believe that it's D. Eskridge.
Let's go, D.
Yes.
Let's go, D.
So from Omar Kelly, he retweeted the Dolphins posting a highlight. And again, it's training camp, right? Like we've talked a million times about how stats don't really matter. It's kind of hands camp. So there are certain drills where the wide receivers are just going to get touchdowns. Running backs are going to run it all the way to the end zone, even though they would have been stopped a million times. But they did post a highlight of D. Eskridge. I'll show Bump right now, catching a touchdown at camp, and he's not with the first team. I think it's Boyle is maybe their backup there.
Here's the thing
Tyler,
with that play, he's behind the defense for sure. All right, so there's no the DB could have made a play.
You're still making excuses.
You know, hey, let's go, D man. You know, I gotta champion my guys.
I'm just
man.
letting you know
Draft
that
2022. What it do? Let's go.
Based on the digging that I have done into Dolphins Twitter over the last 2 minutes, I think he's like their version of Casey Williams, where all the Dolphins fans are like, "Can we see more of this guy?" So
hey, just stay healthy, my man.
Former
Stay
Seahawk
healthy.
to keep tabs on for you guys.
Come on.
All right, let's get to the actual stories on the timeline here. Our next one. Former Marlins staying in Miami. Team president David Sampson was asked about Ichiro's Hall of Fame speech in the dig he took at Miami. As a refresher, in cut 9, here's Ichiro's shot at the Marlins.
And to the Miami Marlins, I appreciate David Sampson and Mike Hill for coming today. Honestly, when you guys called to offer me a contract for 2015, I have never heard of your team. But I came to love my time in South Florida.
It was funny. Cut 10, here's Sampson's response.
I want to tell you how I engaged with it sitting there in the heat yesterday, because you hear your name come out and you're just so overwhelmed with gratitude that your name comes out, and then you hear the Marlins joke, and I immediately thought, my God, anything other than that, because that is, you could just tell that people were going to think that that was serious, but it wasn't. We won the World Series in 2003, folks. He was in his prime in 2003. He knew the Marlins, number one. Number two, he faced us. We played against him.
Oh, he was terrible against the Marlins.
I then had it checked. He was like 8 for 40 against us.
Yeah, he was bad.
Nerds. We had him dead to rights. And believe me, he keeps track of every at-bat. I had a little PTSD because the Marlins are the butt of people's jokes, though we do have 2 world championships in our franchise history. And we've been to the playoffs recently twice since COVID. So all of this talk that the Marlins are, such a failure, I just don't buy.
Sampson was on with Dan Le Batard. I love him starting with, he knows it's a joke, he goes on to explain kind of like, and then I did my research, but I love him starting with, you hear your team in that moment being mentioned, and you're like, I can't believe, I'm so honored. I can't believe I'm being mentioned right now. And then just a dig.
I love his perspective, though, because, you got Ichiro making a joke, and naturally my mind goes to, the Marlins ain't done nothing. And then you hear him talk, he goes, no, actually, we've been to the playoffs as of late. We have won 2 World Series. So the perspective is different, right? As me just listening, not even digging into what the Marlins have done. Yeah, I took it as him taking a jab. But it was a jab, but I think he's right. It's more of a friendly jab over there. And he got to flex on him. Let him know. Like, hold on, this ain't what you think. We've actually been okay since the pandemic, and we got a couple championships.
Someone said, who thought he was serious about the Marlins? Idiots.
Yeah.
Not even a majority of people, but I think just people who get offended with anything and a joke goes over their heads.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful
But
speech.
it was I like that
It was hilarious.
gave it some context too, though. Like, come on.
Former Houston Rockets GM and current GM of the 76ers, Daryl Morey, tells The Athletic he thinks a recent NBA Finals winner deserves an asterisk. The 2020 Lakers. Ooh, shots fired. He said, quote, had the Rockets won the title, I absolutely would have celebrated it as legitimate, knowing the immense effort and resilience required. Yet everyone I speak to around the league privately agrees it doesn't truly hold up as a genuine championship. Perhaps the lasting legacy of the NBA bubble is that the NBA should be proud of its leadership at both the beginning and end of the pandemic, even though the champion will forever be marked by an asterisk. Do you, a Lakers fan, agree?
I agree that the conditions they were playing in were conducive to big games. You imagine remember all the big games that are being played? Like, Porter went crazy. Jamal Murray was going crazy. It seemed like every Dame was going crazy. There are some names that you expected to drop 35, 40. There are some names like, where's this dude coming from? So, and the reason why they were going crazy is because it's just like you're in a gym. Like, there's no pressure from the fans. The environment's different. You're isolated. You're seeing these guys every day. It was different. But you played the games, and you won a championship. Look at it how you want to. I'm not gonna discount what happened, but I am going to recognize that the environment was easier to play in than a normal NBA arena. But I also want to acknowledge that, these guys were away from their family for a long time. Like, it wasn't all flowers and roses and stuff in there. But was it easier to play in that bubble? I can agree 100%. 17 championships.
You know what, though? That NBA in-season tournament, that doesn't need an asterisk. That was real. You guys earned that.
That was weird.
Banner has been hung.
Yeah. What do you mean weird?
That was weird. In season, we won the first one, I guess. Maybe 10 years from now, it's going to feel different.
The first
it's going to have more prestige as the years go along. But the first one is always like, what is this?
Yeah, it's a championship.
It's a championship.
Well, it's half a championship.
Is it even half?
It's like a junior
kind of like, yeah.
Maybe like a.
It's like when
the Presidential Medal of Fitness or whatever they give elementary school.
No, it is.
It's light beer.
It's like an AAU baseball tournament with 4 teams in it, and you won it. You're just like, did we really win a championship?
It's like playing with your friends, but you're switching sides because there's not enough kids.
Yeah.
Like you won, but you guys were all playing on both teams.
Still counts.
Next up. Davante Adams was asked about where things stand between him and Rams backup Jimmy G after their tumultuous time together with the Raiders cut 12.
It's amazing. I love Jimmy, and it was never a personal thing, and I was hoping we didn't have to have these I'm surprised this is the first time it's been brought up, but it's been amazing. We got to, catch up and get on the right page, and obviously that was just a dark moment in all of our lives. I think all of us were pretty miserable over there, and we kind of caught up and laughed about it, and we've been making plays since we've been out here, so it's been fun.
Love it.
It sounds like no one was having fun over there in Vegas.
No, I don't think anyone was.
It sounds like the organization had some issues, and it's nice that they could come together in a better environment and laugh about it. Well, look, this is if you are privileged to play in the NFL for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, you're going to play on some teams that are just bad. Unless you're with the Patriots back in the day in that Tom Brady run, it's going to happen. But does that surprise you about the Raiders, that a guy like Davante Adams, a Hall of Famer, describe his experience in Las Vegas that way? That is why you bring over a guy like Pete Carroll to kind of change the culture. He's not going to be there for 5, 6, 7 years, but he can change just the feel that's in that room and put guys in place to hopefully change the way that guys change their experiences that they have in Las Vegas.
Well, there was this one scene from Adams in Netflix's Receiver, which came out last year, that people were talking a lot about.
I gotta get the out of here before I lose my life. I ain't never been hit this many times in my career. Every game I get up.
So he did
Who
not.
was
That was Davante Adams.
Yeah.
In Netflix's Receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The Raiders seem like one of those teams that have obviously had cool eras, great teams, iconic players, but are currently in a pool of like, how do they get out of this? It's what makes Carroll's tenure there right now with Geno and kind of an interesting collection of talent, really interesting.
The only thing I can say about that clip is that you are a receiver. You're going to get hit. Is he talking about practice? Like, what are we doing here? You're playing on the outside. If you're a quarterback talking like that, complaining about being hit, then I can understand. But you're on the outside. You are a receiver. You're either blocking or you're going up to catch a football. You're going to get hit.
Well, I think he's talking about, like, hospital balls, essentially, where
That makes
he's
sense, then.
not being protected by the
Gardner,
throws
O'Connell.
from Jimmy G.
All right.
Jimmy G. I routinely forget Jimmy G's the backup with the Rams now.
Me too.
It's not that I think he's with the 49ers. It's just that I forget where he is. It's just it's a trip. The Seattle Seahawks are closing in on the preseason. We want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks game on Friday, August 15th. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, August 4th. Coming up next, could the Seahawks reunite with a familiar face on defense?
ESPN senior MLB insider Jeff Passett with Brock and Salk.
Let's start with Josh Naylor. We haven't had a chance to talk to you since the Mariners made the deal.
I love the attitude. Josh Naylor is like the classic. You love him when he's your teammate. You might not when he's not. I like adding a little bit of attitude to this team. He just fits everything so perfectly. Fit a position of need at first base. Added another guy who has really good basketball skills.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health. It's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service. 98 years providing logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. Visit suplinen.com. Hey friends, Stacy here. Wayscarf Ford Isuzu in Auburn is celebrating its 103rd year anniversary, and their biggest sales event of the year is going on right now. Take advantage of their great pricing on new Fords, Isuzus, and commercial vehicles. Also, large discounts on their service and parts departments. What about those of you who want to sell a car? Wayscarf Ford's vehicle profit sharing plan is the best deal out there. They purchase your car and pay you right up front. Then, when Wayscarf Ford resells your old car, they share 50% of their profit with you. They've already paid back over $800,000 to customers. At Wayscarf Ford, there's absolutely no games, no gimmicks, and no pressure. That's backed up by a full 5-day or 500-mile no questions asked return policy on absolutely every vehicle they sell. Change your mind for any reason, bring the vehicle back for a full 100% refund. So if you're like me, you want a good price, a low-key, no-pressure experience, and a full 5-day, 100% satisfaction guarantee, Wayscarf Ford is the place to go. Check them out for yourself at wayscarford.com. Wayscarford.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
12s, Seahawks training camp, powered by Boeing, is underway at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Join us lakeside for a first look at your 2025 Seahawks as they put in work and gear up for a milestone 50th season. Only a few open practice remain, and they're filling up fast. Register now at Seahawks.com/training camp.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at winning 4 tickets to see the Seattle Seahawks host the Kansas City Chiefs on August 15th. Just open the Seattle Sports app, tap the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances. Enter daily from July 30th through August 4th. Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app. The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Feeling the heat? Cool off with Home Comfort Alliance. It's the final days of the warehouse clearance sale with savings up to 25% on brand new 2024 heat pumps and ACs while supplies last. And PSC customers, listen up. Add AeroSeal duct sealing for as little as $99. That's over $2,000 in savings. For heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, trust Home Comfort Alliance. Go to homecomfortalliance.com and tell them John Curley sent you.
Hey, golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com for more.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I just want you to hear me out on something here.
Uh-oh.
Okay? Just hear me out.
Okay.
Bump, Curtis, Matt, you especially.
I'm not going to hear you out.
I know that you guys are going to disagree with me on this. Just sit with this. Just try to receive this with grace. Take what I'm saying. What if the Seahawks signed Jadeveon Clowney?
What is this, 2020?
It's a fair question. Thank God it's not. So I think that this is something that was sticking with me from our conversation with Brady yesterday, Bump. In fact, we asked him in Cut 8, hey, are there potential additions the Seahawks could still make?
I know that they were interested in Von Miller before he signed with Washington, and I still think that they're going to add another veteran at some point, whether it's Jadeveon Clowney, who is still out there and available and obviously played in Seattle and even, has a connection to Mike McDonald. I think he was with Baltimore under McDonald a couple of years ago. So Clowney is out there.
No, Bump. He sure is. And Jacina Anderson says he wants to play in 2025 and is currently communicating with 4 or 5 teams. Should one of them be the Seahawks?
You kick the tires. I mean, he's not a guy that's going to move the needle for this defense. And I don't think that guy is out there. If it's not Trey Henderson, who is a guy that you expect to come in and just make such an impact that you elevate this defense from a possible top 10 to a for sure top 5. That guy is not out there. You look at what he's done over the past few years, 5.5 sacks with Carolina last year, 9.5 with Baltimore, 2 with Cleveland the previous year. I didn't realize, man, he was only 26 when he was with the Seahawks. He is now 31 years of age. If you can get him for the low and have a guy come in and be a rotational guy, okay. But I'm not breaking the bank, which no one is at the age of 31 and what he's done over the past few years. Yeah, you look at him, and it's really contingent on Chenna, right? We're looking at Uchenna and saying, all right, what's his health going to be like? I would prefer a younger guy who has a couple years to grow a bit. I don't know if that guy's out there, but I wouldn't dislike Clowney coming back. I just don't have any expectations for him.
Mike McDonald didn't sound optimistic about Chenna. Mentioned like, hey, this is going into the preseason. And I think anytime coaches never love being fully transparent. They don't really need to be, and they don't like doing it. That being said, they typically like not being asked the same question over and over. So when they can give an answer, they'll do it. Whether it was Pete Carroll, we'll see if Mike McDonald's like that. But like, I don't think he wants to be asked about Uchenna's timeline over and over and over. No. But he has no answer to give. I mean, first, second day of training camp when he was talking to reporters was like, look, this is going to be a wait. Like, we're going to, figure this thing out. He didn't sound overly optimistic. Does it mean Uchenna is not playing this season? Absolutely not. That's not what that means by any means. Does it mean Chenna will be ready week 1? That's, I think, where people are kind of stuck. Bump. Let's assume he's not. In fact, let's assume that if he starts on PUP or anything like that he misses several weeks. Do you want to see them add period? It doesn't have to be Clowney, but is this a position group, outside linebacker, defensive line, where you want to see them add?
I'm looking at the guys that they have on the roster right now. So in front of Chenna right now is Boye Mafe naturally. And then you have Jamie Sheriff. He's been here a couple times, I believe. Jared Ivey, who I don't know a lot about. Tyreek Smith, who's been banged up at times, and Derek Hall. I think that if you're not going to have Chenna's services, you do need another depth piece. Will the contract with the Jadeveon Clowney resemble? I'm going to roll a day. I'm going to say something else. Would Jadeveon Clowney resemble a depth piece? That's what it comes down to, right? Because that's all you're going to ask Jadeveon to do. If the contract makes sense for a guy that you're just going to count on for 20-something plays, maybe 15 plays and come in and be in the rotation, then okay, because you have to make sure that you have some depth there. It's all about depth. And, yeah, I'd be okay with it. But, again, no expectations for him at all.
No, I think that I don't want to say a common misconception. He is on the wrong side of 30. But Jadeveon Clowney entered the league in 2014 at just 21 years old. He was a young pick. And I think being a number 1 pick, there's always the expectation, like, oh, you should have had more than 9.5 sacks. 9.5 sacks twice in 2 separate seasons is a career high for him. He's never had double-digit sacks. But he's also been incredibly disruptive. And we've seen him at his very best here in Seattle. That game against the San Francisco 49ers, one of the best single games I've seen from the Seahawks defensive lineman, just absolutely took it over. And this time around, last time he was 26, this time around he's coming in at 32, which is younger than DeMarcus Lawrence, who I do think is going to be impactful for Seattle this year. But importantly, is coming in a very different role. It's, hey, we're adding depth, we're adding to this rotation, and familiar with Mike McDonald, familiar with that defense from 2023, the last really good year he had. With the Titans, he did have an injury-shortened season, just 8 games there. But since then, while he hasn't started 17 games this season, he's started in no fewer than 10. This is exactly the kind of fit I like for Seattle.
Yeah, he's gone in 20, 21, 14 games, then 12, then 17, then 14. 9 sacks, 2 sacks, 9.5. 5.5. 9 TFLs, 9 TFLs, 4 and 11. Look, this is who he's evolved into as a role player, as a guy who's going to come in and give you a few snaps. And you make a good point. He knows this Baltimore defense already. Well, the defense that Mike McDonald is bringing over from Baltimore, and he could help there. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler, and I think that you just have to look at him differently. If you don't want Jadeveon Clowney over here and you're saying it's going to be a waste of time, then I think you just change the way that you look at him. You're not going to get 10 sacks out of him. If you do, you're going to get it on the low. You're going to get a very team-friendly contract, and if he outperforms that, then you have won. If he plays up to that contract, then you're okay either way.
Yeah. All right, still to come, we are going to head outside to get ready for Seahawks practice, which is kicking off at 1. We're going to speak to a Seahawks player. We're going to take a look around the NFL, including new members of the Madden 99 club, and one very surprising name not included. We're going to talk about every NFC West team's kryptonite, which will be fun, coming up at 12:45. sticking with the NFL when practice kicks off with ESPN's Benjamin Solak. So lots and lots of Seahawks stuff, obviously, as camp is underway. But if you guys have Mariners questions or Mariners concerns that you don't think we got to or you really want to see us address, what I need to know is always coming your way at 1:45. So you can get those questions in, and we'll get to them then. 866-979-3776.
Now batting for the Mariners, first baseman Josh Naylor.
The first contender to make the big move that says, we're all in.
Going and goodbye baseball. Josh Naylor, yes indeed.
You're now looking at a 1 through 6 in your lineup that's deep. It's legitimate.
Just one more day till the trade deadline. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports has you covered on 710 and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
When your outside matches how you feel on the inside, that's kindness. And so I think that is the one thing that the Lee Johnson Auto family encourages us, is to be like really authentic and really be intentional in how we treat our customers and how we treat each other.
To have a good company, have a good culture, have a good crew that takes care of your customer base, you have to take care of your crew. You can't have miserable people and expect them to give a customer a good experience.
Walking in here, meeting some of the employees already before I was even hired on, welcoming me in, gave me a good indication what this company was all about. So if I were to make an hour and a half drive here and to have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
It's not a script. It's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Sparta's Pizza reminds parents 460,000 children are reported missing in our country every year. Please plan with your kids a safe, visible route to and from activities with at least one friend. Coach your kids to stay alert and be aware of their surroundings, and caution your children to never accept gifts or rides from strangers. Best wishes to all our kids from the entire team at Sparta's Pizza and Spaghetti House, serving the best pizza in the universe in Linwood, Bothell, and Mill Creek, or find them online at spartaspizza.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed, all in. Plus get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards, USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help. with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Good news for Seahawks GM John Schneider earlier this morning. Per multiple reports, the Seahawks are extending their president of football operations through the 2030 season. The Mariners dropped Game 2 to the A's 6-1. Series finales today at 7:05 p.m. with a 6 p.m. pregame show on Seattle Sports. Brian Wu on the mound.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Bump and I are live from Virginia Mason Athletic Center, where the Seahawks are set to kick off another day of training camp. Earlier in 4 Down Territory, you talked about some stuff that you want to see from the offense. We're going to speak with Olu with Timmy in a little bit here. What can you actually watch for from the offensive line? Because, Bump, when I think of it, I go, oh, maybe a wide receiver to pop. But I have no idea what to watch with the big guys.
O-line, look for that push. You know, when you see that wide zone, you want to make sure you see bodies on body. There's always going to be somebody leaking because you got 5 guys trying to block, sometimes 7 in the box. So the backside of these runs, there's going to be a guy open. But when you see the flow going to the right, just imagine everyone to the right side of that box is taken care of and they are covered. And then just look for the push, man. When big boys are doing their best work, linemen, defensive linemen, and linebackers are meeting them and getting driven back.
How would you in general like to see offensive linemen used a little bit differently in a Kubiak offense?
Differently, I think we're automatically going to see that. We're going to see them use their athleticism a bit more here. And I want to caution people. I know we're looking for that wide zone as much as we can, but they're going to run some power. There will be some trap. There'll be some lead. There's going to be a variety of things, but expect to see that wide zone. So to seeing the bigs trying to stretch the field east and west and allow those linebackers to find the lane and just burst like we saw K9 do a couple of days ago.
Oh, he looked really good. I know that a couple of days ago, our theme heading into the show following that practice was, it was a day for the defense, and there was an interception by Nick Morey. Reek Woolen had a great interception in front of us, and the defense as a whole did great. If there was an offensive highlight, it was not the quarterbacks, it was Ken Walker.
Yeah, it was K9. K9 looked good. He looked explosive, elusive in the backfield. There were some plays where he clearly wasn't going to get touched, at least for 4 or 5 yards. And when it comes to breaking tackles, I think last year I was running some numbers. He was one of the better running backs when it comes to run after first contact. And I think that's going to be huge in any offense with any running back, but especially when you want to establish the run here, because like I said, there are going to be players on the backside of these runs who are just wide open, are uncovered. And if they have the right angle, they're going to be able to make a play. So it's almost like when I was punt returning. When I was punt returning, I told guys, I can make 1 or 2 miss. Like, you just handle the rest of everyone else, and I can make 1 or 2 guys miss. I think that's kind of how you got to look at this run game, too.
Yeah, I'm really, really eager to see. I know that in the preseason, we're only going to see, like, bits and pieces. But I'm thinking even of last year when we were like, what's Grubb's first season as offensive coordinator going to look like? And you said there are things you can take away from preseason games. They tend to get kind of, you have to take it, with a grain of salt, but there's more there than there would be in a walkthrough or a drill. That those are still important things as we start to piece together what this offense is going to look like. And importantly, whether or not Kubiak can take advantage of weapons in a way where maybe Grubb didn't as much.
Yeah, I think the disconnect with Grubb was that you never saw, or you didn't see often, plays build off each other. that is what this offense is based on, right? I'm going to make this zone look like this play action, look like this screen. I'm going to use the same motion with this personnel group and this foundation, and we're going to give you the same look but with a different result, a different attempt at a different result. I think in most offensive coordinators, that's their goal. That's what they want to do, right? Make things look the same, then build off of that. Just sometimes you can get caught up, man. You could be setting things up, either forget about it or just not get back to it and get caught up in the moment. So we'll see how Kubiak does with this. I think he'll be fine, though.
I think he'll be fine, and I think that I was listening to, this one was actually the Pro Football Focus podcast, and so in this case it was with Nate Tice, and they were ranking just kind of like what they thought about these teams, what they'd look like, defenses they were especially excited about. And while they talked about the Seahawks defense, which they both had as their 6th best defense heading into the season, which is great, they were really eager to see Kubiak here. And both fairly said, hey, everyone's going to talk about a quarterback. Everyone will be talking about, oh, can Sam Darnold do it again? But Kubiak being here is massive for Seattle because it's such a shift. And it's got like that McDonald fingerprint, the Schneider fingerprint of them going, okay, we tried it with Grubb. It was kind of a weird situation heading into, that hiring season a little bit late. But right now, this is going to be a Seahawks offense, and that's going to be more physical, and that's going to be running the ball.
Yeah, you're trying to essentially change your identity a bit. And that's important because you want your identity on offense to match exactly what your head coach wants it to be. And that just wasn't the case last year at times. At times, it looked good. I mean, there'd be 4 or 5 plays to where I'm buying into what he's doing. He's connecting the plays, and then sometimes it disappears. But Kubiak and Sam Darnold obviously are the biggest changes here. And Mike McDonald thinks he gone out and found his guy. John Schneider thinks he's gone out and found his guy too. So it's about building. But we all know, man, when this team hits the field for the first time, the defense is going to have to lead the charge.
We've had a slight change, but I think that Seahawks fans will be really, really happy to hear it because this guy's a fan favorite. Olu is going to be doing something during the interview. So instead, we're going to bring on Jake Bobo.
Okay.
And Jake Bobo is going to be joining us. This is a packed wide receiver room. I was just talking with someone the other day who was saying, God, I used to think there were maybe 2 spots up for grabs, like maybe a 3rd guy, but I kind of think it's everyone fighting for 1 spot at the end.
Yeah, it is. I mean, everyone knows who the first 3 receivers are going to be out here, right? It's MVS, it's JSN, and it's Cooper Kupp. After that, every receiver is fighting for that number 4 spot. Now, some people have a more realistic chance of getting to that 4th spot than others. A guy like Jake Bobo, a guy like Derek Young, the guys who have been here before, even a guy like Horton coming out of Colorado State. You're striving for that 4th spot. We know that that's a secluded or a leather jacket group, right? You got to get into that club. Everyone else is fighting for that.
Group.
It's like when you're in an exclusive club, it's like, where's my jacket? You're part of the leather jacket group.
Do you have leather jackets with your friends?
I do not have leather jackets.
Cool
It's just a saying, Stacy.
I know, but I feel bad because it's like I've never been invited into a group where we all got
I bet you have a leather jacket, though.
I have.
I think I've seen you.
Faux leather. It's a vegan leather jacket.
It's a pleather?
I call it vegan leather, which sounds more expensive.
It does, and it sounds like you care about animals.
Leather sounds like it squeaks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it sounds like it's like really cheap. Yeah, no, vegan leather is like really pretentious.
Okay.
And I prefer that.
Okay. Well, we got those jackets, or those few receivers are working for that jacket. Everyone else, you're fighting for that 5th spot, and you're just trying to make the team on specials. But, yeah, it's a battle for that number 4 spot.
Tell me if this is how you're seeing the group, because this is kind of how I'm watching practice and the things that might be important for that last spot. I think that you've obviously got your top 3, and we already know who those are with JSN, Cooper, and MVS. Beyond that, I think you go ahead and pencil in Bobo as your most experienced veteran that isn't a regular starter.
Right.
And then Horton, your highest rookie draft pick. Beyond that, it's like a battle between do you go with the upside of, White as a rookie? Do you go with Sims as an experienced veteran on special teams? Do you go with Young, who's a guy that maybe you haven't gotten the most out of? That's kind of who I see competing there. What about you?
Yeah, it's the same. Obviously, if you are the higher draft pick at the receiver spot, you're going to get more opportunities than everyone else, as you should. But, yeah, that's right. You got to go with guys who have been here. Did you mention Derek Young?
Yeah.
All right, I got to make sure he gets some love, too, because they're keeping him around for a reason. He hasn't really cracked the code and gotten on the field and gotten the snaps that he would like to, but He's still on the roster,
Yeah.
and it's because of what he does on special teams, and he brings value. So I want to make sure he gets his love too. But yeah, it's called a members only jacket. I'm reminded by 425. There you go, members
Is that the
only.
same as a Letterman's jacket?
I mean that's kind of like a
What's
members
a
only
members
jacket. It's like you get into the club and you get your jacket.
Members only jacket.
You know,
members
like-
only jacket. Is this just a bomber jacket?
Yeah, it's more of a. It's like a figure of speech.
Oh,
you know?
got it.
Get
got
your
it,
members
got it.
only jacket.
So you've got to be just like a cool part of like a. I think we should start something. Like maybe for the show we can get matching jackets.
Can we wait until November?
Well,
Maybe October.
what if we get them with removable sleeves?
Removable sleeves.
Curtis,
Make a fashion
Matt, would you
statement.
guys,
Zip
if
off
we-
sleeves.
Just hear me out. If we all got, I would just love a little more of like corresponding outfits and just some more effort from, frankly, all three of you when it comes to kind of the fashion for the show. So maybe if we got members only jackets.
Aren't you the one that killed Teal Tuesday? Dang. And that
Sure
was
is.
that was coordinating
Sure
outfits.
is.
They don't have to be teal. I killed Teal Tuesday not from the spirit of it, which is that we all match and root for the Mariners to succeed. It's the teal is disgusting.
Here's the thing. If you're really about it, you put effort into it. You put effort into it. You're on Amazon all the time.
Why are you putting me on blast like that?
Definitely.
And you're watching
get
film all
to
the
it.
time. And what? Our entire breaks are Bump watching film of whatever and me being on Amazon and me telling you about like the shows I'm watching.
Yeah.
I just kind of talk at you.
We got a system that works.
Yeah, Curtis and Matt, you guys are really fortunate. You missed, we're fortunate enough to miss me recapping a lot of Love Island Season 6 drama with Janae and Kenny with Bump. But he's caught up now. He knows what's happening.
I'm good. I'm ready.
All right, sweet. It's like
You think
reading the
Jake Bobo
Wikipedia
knows?
page.
Ask him. He might. He's young enough. He might be into that.
No.
He might be into that.
That's not a good first question.
Oh, not
but
a
I want
first
to know, because
question.
what if he is? What if he does watch?
I want to say he's in a relationship too. So
That's what I'm saying. Some
you
of the
know.
players that have girlfriends or wives end up watching a lot of the shows.
Yeah.
and the thing is, you guys pretend that you don't get into these shows, and then you do.
Yeah.
That's
if
what
it's,
guys do.
if
You guys
it's
all
on,
pretend that you're not watching, and then you're kind of standing in the doorway.
because you're forced. It's on. And you're like, all right, well, if I'm gonna sit here and have to pay attention, I'm gonna naturally get into the plot and what's going on.
What's the dumbest show you've watched where you were like, I can't believe I'm still watching this, but I got sucked in?
Love and hip hop, anything. Like,
That is a
come
dumb
on,
show.
man.
It's so good.
Oh my God.
It was so good.
It's the same stuff. And all those shows is, all right, let's go travel and let's go to dinner and then let's argue.
Yes, and they all argue over a dinner table in a restaurant.
Yeah.
That's kind of like standard.
Yeah.
Curtis, Matt, the dumbest show you guys got sucked into?
Probably the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. That
So
one
good.
on Hulu or whatever.
So good.
Yeah.
Season 2 was phenomenal. Absolutely. Did you watch the reunion? You better have.
No, we haven't
Oh.
gotten there yet.
Okay. Matt?
Me and my sister watched the first 2 seasons of 1,000 Pound Sisters on TLC.
Oh,
the
man.
worst thing I've ever seen, but I could not look away.
That's kind of interesting.
Some of
Isn't
those
one of them?
shows-
Didn't one of them lose a lot of weight?
Yes. Right?
Yes.
I was going to turn to Matt, like the 1,000 Pound Sister TV show expert. Like, well, what happened to them? Are they still... There's so many good clips from that. I've never, ever, ever watched it, but there's a great clip of one of them talking about, like, craving water or something like that. The thing is with some shows, TLC really does this. They have shows that are technically reality shows. They make me deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It'll be like Hoarders, and you're like, this isn't fun. I'm not watching drama. I'm watching something really sad.
It's reality, though.
I'm not-
People live that way.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask Jake Bobo about TV shows, but I do kind of want to
I think you should, honestly. This is how you frame it.
No, because you know what he's going to do? We'll bet on it. I guarantee you, we can say this before he gets here, so he's not in earshot, that if I ask him, so how'd you spend your off season? You watch any good TV shows? He's going to say, not really. I just, mostly I hang
Just
out.
watch film
Just watch
and-
film.
Yeah.
You think he'll say something else?
No, I think he'll give you something. He has a good personality. I think I think even if he doesn't, he'll give you something, though. It's not like he's going to be like, nah, I don't do that.
Do you guys think that he'll say, I just pay attention to the playbook, or will he say a TV show?
He'll say a TV show.
Matt, Curtis.
He'll say that like Netflix football documentary that everyone was talking about last week.
Quarterback?
Yeah.
So technically a TV show. If he says a real TV show, I'll bring us donuts when we're finally back in there.
You and your donuts.
I know, but I don't gamble with real money because it's too fragile and delicate.
It's scarce out here.
I really do. Like oh man, no, couldn't be me. Okay, well, I'll ask him when he gets out here. It's going to be a weak first question. No one can make fun of me. This is for donut purposes.
Yeah, it's for the people, honestly.
Well, and it's always fun to find out kind of how guys. You do want to see more personality from players and kind of want to know what they're like. Fans love Jake Bobo.
Yeah, they do. So I was on the Brock and Salk show, and they asked me, like, all right, who should we be looking for? And I go, honestly, man, it's that fourth receiver spot.
Yeah.
And is Bobo going to hold on to it? Is Drake Young? Is it Horton? I think they were expecting me to dig a little deeper and give like an undrafted name, someone from this year. But obviously, my eyes go directly to the receivers when I'm out here, me playing the position back in the day. And I think it's important that they find that number 4 because you know who your first 3 are. And that number 4 is going to get some time. So, yeah, let's find him.
Okay, well, the good news is that Jake Bobo did get engaged.
Okay.
So maybe he is watching Love Island.
I'm telling you. There's a good chance.
What if he says, oh, me and my fiance, I got sucked into Love Island. It's pretty good. Yeah. I want you guys to know this interview might go off the rails. Like I might have like 6 more questions for him.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Maybe. But didn't Sam Darnold get engaged too?
Yes, he did.
Busy offseason for a lot of these
There was
guys.
another receiver or another skill player that got engaged too. Maybe it was Jake Bobo that I saw. It was like around the same time, too.
Real question for you. We know that these guys have put in time. Like, I know Sam Darnold clearly has worked on that chemistry with JSN, and they have, like, a good connection in camp so far. How much does that... I'm asking a dumb question, but I'm asking it for a reason. I want to talk about the chemistry between a wide receiver and a quarterback, and... when you get that comfort level, is it like quick to establish if a player is really good? Do you have to actively work on it?
I think some of it becomes natural because obviously you're out here doing drills and some receiver quarterbacks just have that natural connection. But then you got to work at it too. Like any relationship, it doesn't just happen, right? Initially it happens, you have that honeymoon phase and everything's good, but you have to work at that relationship on the field and off the field. And that's why you see quarterbacks doing things like flying guys down to California to do a workout and setting things up like that because you want to build that chemistry. So I think, yeah, you got to work on it, but the spark has to be natural at first.
Yeah, it's always interesting to me because you have some guys where it's like, I have no idea whether or not Gino and DK were like the best of friends. However, they had pretty good chemistry on deep passes. Like something like 5 of DK's 7 longest touchdowns came with Geno Smith as his quarterback, despite the fact that obviously he started his career with Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson notoriously a great deep ball thrower, but it's actually Geno that's had those connections with him.
You know what's funny about DK's longest plays? They come from short routes. Like it was I believe it was a slant when he took it 70 yards to the house when he came. I think it was a Dallas Cowboys game or something like that. Yeah, but quarterback has to read it, dial it up. OC has to dial it up, and receiver has to catch it and go. But sometimes you just have so much trust in that receiver. You're like, all right, look, my pre-snap is telling me I'm going here, and I'm not coming off this read.
Okay, Jake's walking over now. I'm saying this quietly.
You nervous?
Donuts on the... No, I'm going to be normal. Hi, Jake.
What's
Good,
going on?
how are you? Of course. Thanks for hopping on with us. Can you hear yourself okay?
I can indeed.
Great, fantastic.
Right.
Go ahead and have a seat. We've got a nice breeze over here, some
this
shade.
Is nice in here.
I know. You're kind of kicking off camp now in the 2nd week, but assuming you had a nice, relaxing off season, congratulations on your engagement.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, we were wondering, in the downtime for you guys, do you ever get into like TV shows or, watch anything good over the off season?
I'm more of a movie guy. With that being said, though, I went down the Yellowstone route. Yellowstone, like 1923, 1823, whatever they are. Though that's good TV.
All right.
And so that's kind of what I was doing in Durham, North Carolina for my couple weeks off.
No Love Island for you.
No, that one, no.
We had a bet before you came on whether or not.
I was like, well, my man just got engaged, so maybe his girl got him watching it.
That's why my question sounded so weird. I was like, how do I transition to a TV show? All right.
Hey, so you being a Duke guy, and UCLA, big up UCLA, there's assumptions that are made about you. It's that you're just extremely smart and you're going to pick up any playbook that's thrown at you. How was it picking up this playbook?
That might there might be some other stereotypes other than the Duke point that lead to that opinion. It's true. I have an easier time picking up. I think just that's from being around ball my whole life. And this system, Clint's system, is no different. And scheme-wise, everybody's kind of running the same thing in the NFL right now. At least teams that are being successful. And so we brought in his system. Obviously, he's got his tweaks and different things that he likes to do with his offense. West Coast, run the ball downhill, and then we'll take shots over your head when we feel like we'll have the opportunity to. And it's been great so far. I mean, makes a ton of sense. Easy for guys. You know, we're going out here and installing every day, but we're being able to play fast just because the system at least is it's detailed, but it's simple at the same time.
Right.
So there are different rules, run game wise, pass game wise, that make it really easy on you as a route runner.
I don't want to compare it too much to last year, but it is tough going from one offensive coordinator. You learn his system, and then you immediately have another guy.
Yeah.
Is there anything about learning Clint's system, or maybe just starting out this offseason that feels to you something that maybe you prefer, something that you like compared to last season?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's two different schemes.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it kind of just principles. Like Clint wants to run the ball downhill, so that's what we're going to do. That's going to help our defense out. Obviously, going against the defense right now is not fun, but hopefully we'll be able to help them out come the fall. And just being able to eat clock, time of possession. Obviously, we want to be explosive. Any offense wants to be explosive and score points, but I think we'll have more of a relationship with the defense, with special teams this year than we've had in the past, which will, I think, help us win more games, to be honest with you.
So this is like my 8th year covering the team.
Yeah.
So I've seen Russell, I've seen Gino.
Yeah.
And with Russell, you know what you're getting. With Gino, you know what you're getting.
Right.
Sam seems like just a mystery to me because he doesn't seem like he shows a lot of emotion out there. And I go out and my boy's like, what's Sam like? I go, bro, I don't know. Like, I don't know. So what is he like? Like, give me something about Sam.
Well, he's the man, first of all, off the field. Has taken great care of us just since he's got here. Whether that's, having us out to dinner, going over his house, whatever it is. He's a dude off the field, guy you want to hang out with, guy's guy. And obviously then that translates and helps him in the building, just being able to lead an offense. And to be honest, that's the first thing I noticed is he stepped in that team room and it was immediately his team and his offense. The guy, you can see it in his eyes, he's intense when we're out between the lines, but as soon as we step off, man, he's Sammy D, and he's joking around with the guys and having a good time. But once it's time to lock in, he's ready to roll and he's intense, and you know what you're gonna get out of the guy already. It's been 3 months.
Yep.
Cooper Kupp was giving him a hard time jokingly for his taste in food. Being like, you go to a nice restaurant, this guy's gonna want like chicken strips or nuggets. Or can you confirm or deny the maybe childish taste?
Well,
I don't want to say childish.
First of all, there's nothing wrong with chicken strips.
What?
Right?
Wait, no,
There's
hang
nothing
on.
wrong with chicken strips.
Jacob.
Listen, tasty, nutritious.
Sure.
So I'm neither going to confirm nor deny that Sam would get chicken strips on. I can confirm that Cooper would not.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do for you.
Was there like a nice place you guys went to where Sam ordered
No, he didn't
something?
get
Okay.
chicken strips. No,
God,
no.
that would be great.
That
It's like
would've
you
been
guys are at a
funny,
steakhouse and he's like, do you have like nuggets?
What's on the kids' menu?
Yeah. The little lasagnas.
Man, what's it like being a vet now? Obviously, the NFL, it's every day is a new opportunity to go out and improve yourself. Yeah. But, you coming out here for your 3rd training camp, it's got to feel a bit different for you.
It definitely does. And I think even last year was different. I was, more comfortable with the building, obviously more comfortable with the people in the building, whether it's strength staff, medical staff. Obviously, I've had different offensive staffs all 3 years being here. But, I mean, it's been cool to be able to become a little bit more of a part of this organization just as a whole off the field. Just feeling like, this has become my home and my people in this building. Obviously, like I said, offensive staffs changed, but I will give Clint credit. I feel like I've been with him for 3 years. I don't know why. I think he does a really good job teaching, forming kind of relationships off the field. But yeah, man, I mean, it's been cool and be able to kind of mentor some young guys.
Yeah.
Because it feels like yesterday I was doing what Torrey Horton and Ricky White, and Tyron Broden and those guys are doing. So it's been cool to kind of flip the script a little bit.
Feels like that for us too. The older you get, the older we get, and that's what we're so upset about. When we start talking about players we remember as rookies, and it's like, this wily veteran, we're like, oh, someone called Jaron Reed Unk the other day. Mike Morris called him Unk the other day, and I was like, stop, no, I covered his draft. That's horrible.
So funny.
You know what I've always wondered, and to be fair, this is a question I could have asked you, but every time we ask about maybe a new coordinator or coaches, they often mention, I was just in his office the other day. Mm-hmm. What's that accessibility like? Like, are you having one-on-ones with your head coach? Because I always imagine it's a very hierarchical kind of tough to get that time.
The cool thing about Mike is, from day one, the whole open door policy, and everybody says that.
Sure.
But me being a guy, when you talk about hierarchy, that is relatively low down on that totem pole. Like, I've been in his office multiple times talking about whatever, scheme, off-the-field stuff, which is, that's really, really cool. I haven't been to different organizations, but I'd imagine that's not necessarily the case, where you can have guys that are scrapping to make the damn team and can go meet with the head man right after. And so it's a cool deal. Clint's the same way. I've had conversations one-on-one with him about the scheme, questions. Frizz, receiver coach, Frisman Jackson is the same way. So it's a cool deal. Again, I think it's just this organization. I would assume that's what I'm told. But it's still, regardless, it's a cool deal.
What's your golf game like?
Oh, it's not good. It's not good.
Do you get out there?
Dude, I love it.
Yeah.
Especially this offseason, I've really gotten into it. I got fitted for a set of clubs.
There we go.
I can't.
What kind of clubs you swinging?
Dude, I'm a Callaway guy.
All right.
Yeah. But I'm working on it. Working on it.
You'll forever be working on it.
Oh my God.
That's the game, baby.
That's the problem. That's how it sucks you in.
Yep.
See, I wanted to ask, what do you shoot? And I didn't even know how to ask it.
You say, what's your handicap?
What's your handicap? I don't know. You get so excited. Bump gets so excited when he finds out that there are players that golf. And he's always like, let me pull you aside real quick.
Jordan Babineau got me playing golf here. I saw him swinging clubs. I'm like, all right, let's go try it.
I mean, it's a great game.
Yeah. All right, he's Seahawks wide receiver Jake Bobo, and you have practice in like 40 minutes, so we got to get you out of here. Thank you so much for taking the time. All right, you guys don't go anywhere.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach McDonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Dave Wyman joined by Dr. Daniel Landis from Swedish CyberKnife. Dr. Landis, when treating prostate cancer, what can patients expect during CyberKnife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out. You essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Swedish.org/CyberKnife prostate.
Roof now, pay later. No payments until 2027. 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Since 1968, we've helped homeowners just like you get beautiful, durable roofs without breaking the bank. Book today and lock in summer pricing before it's too late. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
The 2025 Seahawks season is almost here. Get fitted for game days with jerseys, caps, and tees, including the 2025 training camp collection. Visit the Seahawks Pro Shop at the Landing in Renton and Lumen Field or online at seahawks.com/pro shop.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even I added too much water to the pizza dough day?
Yep.
How about getting a call from my daughter to pick her up at the airport because her boyfriend is unreliable day?
Especially that day.
What about finding out that one of my pipes suddenly burst in my basement day?
Progressive has every day covered 24/7 with the Home and Auto Bundle. Also, you have a lot of bad days.
Oh no, that was all the same day.
At least you're covered with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy Chicken Biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath. You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Taking a look around the NFL, Madden has released their 99 club for the 2026 season. One name surprisingly not included. The highest rated players in the game are Saquon Barkley, duh. Jamar Chase, duh. Justin Jefferson, obviously. Myles Garrett, of course. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, MVP battling it out. And Lane Johnson. No Patrick Mahomes.
Humble thyself. Humble thyself. I think, 2 years in a row he hasn't had 30-plus touchdowns. Doesn't mean he's not a great quarterback.
Means he's a bum.
Nah, he's still. I would still pick him You know what? I would still pick Lamar over anybody, but I would understand people picking Pat Mahomes over anybody when it comes to starting a franchise. They're just going off of his performance from last year. He did enough to get into the Super Bowl, but he didn't have a dominant performance, and that could be because of several things. One, football is a team sport. If your offensive line isn't blocking, it's going to be hard for you to do some things. If your receivers aren't catching the rock, it's going to be hard for you to put up some numbers. So I think they're just looking at what he did last year and saying that wasn't a 99 club type of performance, and I'm okay with that.
I'm asking this very sincerely and not at all as like, are you crazy? Why would you choose Lamar over Patrick Mahomes?
Because the way that I run my offense is the way that Lamar Jackson plays. Like, I want to use my quarterback as a running threat. I want him to be able to read the end and hold him accountable, RPO off of that. Pat Mahomes can RPO. He's not elusive. He can run the football, but I want the best athlete on the planet holding the football every single down. So I'm taking Lamar. I might even take Josh over Pat Mahomes. If I'm building my team, yeah, I might even do that.
Just from the ground up. I mean, apparently Madden would. Next up, Trey Hendrickson is in Bengals camp, so are things any better between the two sides? It doesn't sound like it, according to Hendrickson in cut 19.
Things are exactly the same. What I'm not going to do is, as best as I can, avoid being a distraction. I want to help the guys. The guys that have helped me along the way, Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, even Sam Hubbard helped me a lot when I was here. So to be that right now, I think that's what's most important, and this narrative will kind of iron itself out as we continue to progress towards the season.
Will it iron itself out? How confident are you Trey Hendrickson is suited up for the Bengals hitting the field in week 1?
He'll be there just the same way Micah Parsons is going to be there too. It's inevitable. Neither of these teams are going to lose an opportunity to get one of the best players in the game. It's just what's taken so long, right? It's just the process doesn't resemble one of a franchise type of player. That's the issue. But he'll be fine. I think the fact that he is there, the fact that he's trying to smooth this thing out, lets you know that look, the conversations have been positive, but there's no way Hendrickson and Micah Parsons are not playing for their teams when week 1 starts.
This is not an NFL story, but I'm going to interrupt with a quick MLB headline. Not technically Mariners related, though the Mariners have been linked with Willie Castro. He's just been removed mid-game from multiple outlets. I'm looking at it from Talking Baseball, the real one, but a couple other reporters have it. Removed from the middle of the game and is giving hugs to teammates and coaches.
He gone.
He gone.
Hey, hop on that Alaska flight. All right, and make your way to the north. I don't know. We'll see. Now, if they were to make this move, let me ask Curtis. Curtis, if this move happens, is it just an arm now and you're good to go? What are your thoughts?
I think, let's see here. I am not going to be super okay with it if it's just an arm. Let's see here. Is it... I'm getting caught up back here. Sorry about that.
My bad, man. My bad.
Well, the news, to be fair, we did spring this on you. This broke not even 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It just happened in the game.
So, if he comes to Seattle, I am definitely all for Willie Castro being here. I think it definitely lessens the chance of Geno Suarez coming to town, but yeah, I think the priority after, if it is Castro, I'm not saying that it's likely or not, but the priority definitely becomes relief pitching after that.
All right, well, I'll move on to the rest of the NFL, but so that you guys know, Willie Castro has seemingly been traded. He's hugging teammates goodbye coming out of the game. We just don't know to where. All we know is the Mariners were potentially a partner. Next up, Jamal Adams spoke to the Raiders website about how his reunion with Pete Carroll came to be cut 13.
Yeah, I mean, he just texted me. Honestly, throughout the offseason, I've been sending him video of just me working out. Not only just him, just a couple coaches that I've had relationships with, and obviously he brought me in. He texted me and said, "Come work out," and I told him I'd be there. So came in, worked out, and did my thing, and obviously, I got the opportunity of a lifetime just to come out here and compete with the guys.
Going to cut 14, Jamal also shared he's not even with the defensive backs anymore.
Well, I'm not in the DB room.
You're in the linebacker room.
In the linebacker room.
All right, take me through that's it. That tells us a lot about what JJ was just asking you.
Yes,
take me through the linebacker room.
Yeah, obviously it's different for me, just being in the linebacker room. Obviously they speak a different language than what we speak in the back end. But, me just taking it on and learning everything, learning from the guys each and every day. You have so many guys in there that have put the time in, have battle scars, should you say, and I'm just kind of learning from them and, just going out there just to be a football player.
feel like the Twins are just trolling people.
Well, I'll react to that sound.
Okay.
That is the best move of his career at this point, is to be in that linebacker room, because we know the shortcomings of his attributes, right? He's not great playing the football in the air. He's not great in a lot of space. What do? You put him in the box and you let him do what he does best, which is tackle and get after the quarterback. So if this works out, Pete Carroll just saved his career and gave him another 3 or 4 years.
Should this have been something that the Seahawks tried when he was here? Because this was like a really, really popular question. It's the same way that people want Jake Bobo to be tried at like tight end. Like they just see people that are like, well, they could do this.
No, because at that point of his career, that's what he's always been. You know, I think sometimes it takes being away from the game or going other places and failing a couple of times to reevaluate exactly who you are as a player. You know, sometimes we see outside receivers moving to the slot because they're like, look, I'm not as fast as I used to be. I don't have the same twitch. But from 5 to 15 yards, I still got it a bit. So you make that move. No, while he was here, I think they used him in the box, just not as a linebacker.
All right, last story here. Cowboys VP Stephen Jones pushed back on the notion that his team likes to draw out contract negotiations. Cut 18.
We don't drag deals out. We do deals when there's an opportunity to do a deal. Certainly, no one knows what goes on internally with a particular negotiation, but, you know, sometimes agents and players aren't ready to pull the trigger till they see other cards play. What we're not going to do is go out and, do something that's not responsible in terms of, just in the name of getting a deal done 1 month earlier. Go do it and pay the guy another $5 million of your cap space. And especially when you're dealing, in our particular case, with guys that are homegrown here.
You're right. He does sound like little Jerry.
That's little Jerry.
That's little Jerry.
Little big old Jerry. Here's the thing. Micah Parsons has made it clear he wants to be a Cowboy. So I'm not sure what he's trying to put out there that sometimes players and agents don't want to get the deal done. Here's what needs to happen. This is the only option that they have, is to make him the highest paid non-quarterback in the game. And why is that? Because you waited so dang long to get this deal done. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's trying to put out there. But this is the way the Cowboys operate. And I was watching Stephen A. this morning, and he even mentioned back like in 90 whatever when Emmitt Smith was up for a contract, they waited 2 games into the season before they paid that man. So this is something that they've done for over 30 years when it comes to their top talent, and I don't understand why. I'm sure there's a method to their madness. I just don't understand it.
All right, the Seahawks are closing in on the preseason, and we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks game on Friday, August 15th. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how, if you don't already have the app. Text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, August 4th. Coming up next, every single NFC West team's kryptonite.
Now batting for the Mariners, first baseman Josh Naylor.
The first contender to make the big move that says, we're all in.
Going and goodbye baseball. Josh Naylor, yes indeed.
You're now looking at a 1 through 6 in your lineup that's deep, it's legitimate.
Just one more day till the trade deadline. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports has you covered on 710 and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package, or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details. You can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at PCFgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425 629-8476.
Now is the time. We talk about it year-round, but roofing season really is upon us. It's Mike Solak here. So what makes it roofing season? Long, dry days where roofing crews can work realistically sun up to sundown. They're cranking out projects all over our region, and Riverside Roofing is, of course, leading the charge. Local to Marysville, Riverside Roofing serves the entirety of Western Washington. They do amazing work. They've earned my recommendation, plus industry awards like GAF Master Elite's President's Club, a status fewer than 1% of roofing companies in the entire country actually achieve. Get a roofing quote in less than 60 seconds using Quick Quote directly on riversideroofingllc.com. It'll pop up as soon as you go on their website. During and after your roofing job, you can expect a yard and driveway totally clean of debris. Behind their national accolades is a family company from right here in Marysville, built upon important local values like trust. That's why Riverside Roofing is the local roofing company you can trust. Go to riversideroofingllc.com.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
A look around the NFC West, but this time we're going to talk about each team's kryptonite. We're going to be as succinct as possible. I already love this one. On the text line, the 253 says, every team's kryptonite. Rams, 49ers. 49ers, health. Hawks, the Cardinals' actual field. Cardinals, the spotlight. Yes, crushed it. I thought that's a 10 out of 10 right there. I thought that was a great one. Okay,
I like that.
you have some other choices when you were thinking of the kryptonite. Kryptonite for each one of these 4 teams.
Yeah, the kryptonite. You want me to get going?
Yeah.
Should I get going? All right, let's start with the Rams. The Rams' kryptonite is old man health. Matthew Stafford already is having some back spasms or whatever you want to call it. That's not what you want to hear, but that makes Stacy smile deep down inside because she's been calling him old for 5 years now. But Matthew Stafford, when you hear that, you get a bit nervous because you got Jimmy G over there backing him up, and I think Bennett is still there as well. Stetson Bennett, I think he's still over there as well. This offense does not go without Matthew Stafford. This offense could survive for a week or two without Puka Nacua. It can survive a week or two without Devontae Adams, but if Matthew Stafford is not healthy, these guys are done. I don't care how good their defense is. And then Devontae Adams, he doesn't have an injury history, but he's up there too. He's a little long in the tooth as well. So those are the only 2 things that I see, or only 2 players not being out there I see that can really hurt this team, mainly Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, the scary part on the positive end of that when it comes to, from the Seahawks point of view, is like if they do stay healthy and are good, that combination could be lethal. Like that wide receiver group with Puka Nacua, with Devontae Adams, obviously with Stafford throwing the rock, is just that's a tough trio right there. Okay.
Right.
Cardinals.
Cardinals next up. Young leadership. Like, what is this? We already know that defensively they have some issues. That's why they went out there and drafted a whole bunch of guys on the defense. When you look at total yardage given up, 342, that's good enough for about 20th in the league. Not horrible, but not great. You look at points given up by this defense. They are near the bottom as well in that category. They're around 22.3, so somewhere near the middle. But it's about the defense, and it's about the young leadership over there. Can Kyler Murray get away from what everyone thinks about him? They see him as lazy, bad body language, doesn't put in the work. There's still time for him to change that. And with Marvin Harrison, he got off on the wrong foot when it comes to the NFL. With that lawsuit he had with Fanatics, they couldn't sell his jersey. It made him seem like a diva. Everyone already thinks that about receivers. It's the young leadership, because even though Marvin Harrison is going into his 2nd year, they're going to expect a lot of plays out of him, and Kyler Murray has to lead that charge as well. Defense, young leadership with the Cardinals.
Yeah, I see that's a great answer. I see the Cardinals as being maybe most similar to like a Falcons kind of thing when it comes to the issues. Both bird teams, first of all, both with red as part of the team logo, secondly. Thirdly, and most importantly, they have similar strengths and weaknesses, so it can help you kind of imagine, like, okay, this is what they're dealing with and what their goal is. In theory, there should be like sky-high ceiling on offense with like really top-level talent, top 10 picks, top 5 picks that both teams have. But then they've struggled to get a really, really good defense established and haven't really taken advantage of the offensive weapons. So it's not like they're the Bengals where it's like you're scoring a ton of points, you're getting a ton of yards, but your defense is just giving it up. It's just you haven't become a complete team despite having some real talent.
Yeah, I mean, that's the worst part about the Cardinals, is that you see some talent over there. Just got to put it together. And they have a young coach that's trying to figure it out, too.
Yeah. All right, Niners.
Niner gang, bing, bing, bang. Gaps in the roster and QB validity. I think people think Brock Purdy is a solid NFL quarterback. I think he is, too. This guy paid $50 million. Is he the quarterback to take you to the next level? I think we're going to find out this year. You no longer have Deebo Samuel over there. You still got George Kittle. You still got Pearsall, Juwan Jennings. We'll see how Brandon Ayuk comes back. But and also it's the gaps in the roster. You lose Javon Hargrave on that defensive line. You lose Greenlaw at that second level. You lose Hufanga at that safety position. You have to fill those gaps. Are they going to be able to do that? The one thing you can count on with the 49ers is that Shanahan is going to call a good game up to a certain point. That's where I leave it to Stacy, because you made a good point about this.
Yes, and this is kind of what Bill Barnwell was hinting at in his conversation with us, a couple other folks that we've talked to when we've talked about the implementation of like a Kubiak scheme here in Seattle. Is you could argue also that kryptonite for the 49ers has been blowing fourth quarter leads, falling behind, and then not getting back into a game once they fall behind. That's kind of been the knock that so many 49ers fans and critics and frankly reporters and analysts have had, is like, is there some kind of flaw here that's being exposed? Why does this happen so many times? You have so much talent, but something about blowing that fourth quarter lead, falling behind, and then not being able to play from behind.
Right, yeah. And I think a lot of that lies on, obviously, Shanahan, but on quarterback play, too. Can Brock Purdy just take over a game for a couple series and get him back into it?
Right, and I think that maybe he takes another step there. What we learned is that without all that talent, Brock Purdy isn't enough, but maybe you say that for most quarterbacks in the league, right? Okay, let's go to the Seahawks. Let's head back home here. I want to say Achilles heel every time. Kryptonite.
Kryptonite. All right, for the Seahawks, let's just prove it. Is Sam for real, and can this defense be good enough? I think that's what it comes down to, because I don't think you look at this roster and you don't see talent on both sides of the ball. Obviously, you look at the defensive side of the ball and you see more talent, more proven talent, but this is a quarterback league. We just talk about Brock Purdy and Shanahan, right? Can they come together and execute late and come from behind, or just have a game-winning drive? It comes down to Sam. It comes down to this defense. You have to prove, Sam, that what you did last year was not a fluke, and this defense has to prove that they can build off of what they did last year with some additions to this squad.
I have a very boring answer for mine, and it's just going to be the offensive line, but that is kind of what I get back to. And it's not even necessarily when I'm thinking about Sam.
Right.
It's when I'm thinking about the identity this team wants to establish. Like, we all know exactly what John Schneider wants to do, and we know what Mike McDonald wants to do and the kind of offense they want to be.
Right.
Are you going to be able to take that leap? Because it's not just, oh, we've got this great scheme. We've got a new offensive coordinator. Our running backs are healthy. It's going to be the big boys, too.
Yeah, the bigs are going to control a lot of what they can and cannot do. And if Darnold will feel comfortable back there in the pocket and releasing that ball down the field to your three stud receivers out there. So you got the big boys. I got the prove it Sam in that defense.
All right, the cheering you're hearing is a high school team very excited as some of these guys start to hit the field for practice kicking off in about 7 minutes. So you're probably going to hear some music, some noise in the background, but we might also have some insights here. Bump and I live from Virginia Mason Athletic Center for another day of Seahawks training camp, brought to you by The Landing in Renton. ESPN's Benjamin Solak joins us next.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music of the year.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach McDonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by The Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
It's the World Fighting Championships at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center, Saturday night, October 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing professional mixed martial arts event, the World Fighting Championships, October 25th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health. It's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Crawl space and attics are not places you want to spend much time, but many homes in our area can have serious issues behind the hatches. Hi, it's the owner of Crawl Pros, Richard Herron. For years, you've heard us talking about how we go where you don't want to. With our free corner-to-corner inspection to keep your crawl space and attic well insulated and free of mold and water. You've also heard about the pest control division of our company to keep your home bug and critter free. I'm excited to tell you about our newest division, Plumber Pros. Plumber Pros takes the same customer-first approach to plumbing that we do with our crawl space, attic, and pest control work. We've handpicked skilled plumbers that I know you'll feel comfortable inviting into your home. So next time you run into plumbing issues, from leaky faucets and clogged drains to full home repipes and sub pump installations, call Crawl Pros and we'll get our plumbing division, Plumber Pros, out to get it resolved. For anything related to your crawl space, attic, pest control, or plumbing, call Crawl Pros or visit us at crawlpros.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners take on the A's for a series finale tonight at 7:05 p.m. Brian Wu on the mound. Pregame show starts at 6 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports. It sure looked like Twins utility man Willie Castro had been traded about 30 minutes ago. He was taken from the game, spotted hugging teammates, but no, just trolling. ESPN's Jeff Passan reporting Castro has not been dealt.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. ESPN's Benjamin Solak joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Benjamin, how's it going?
I'm well, Stacy. How you been?
Good. We're live here from Seahawks camp, and practice is just starting, so we apologize for any background noise. Hopefully you can hear us okay. We'll start with kind of an overall look at the Seahawks. It feels like every conversation begins and ends with Sam Darnold. Is that kind of how you see this team?
I'm deeply interested in Jake Bobo. I've always liked the Bobo, time at UCLA. What's he going to be now? Wide receiver depth chart shakeup? No. I can hear you just fine, and certainly, yeah, the conversation is going to be about Sam because of the quarterback change and because that season in Minnesota, if you're able to replicate that with Clint Kubiak, who obviously knew Sam in San Francisco in a new environment, then you have a great contract there in your hands with Sam Darnold. There's also a lot of worlds where Sam goes back to being similar to the player he used to be, and Geno looks very nice for Pete there in Las Vegas, and the pendulum swings the other way. So, first 4-6 weeks of the season, Seattle fans, there's a lot at stake in terms of how you feel about those transactions, whether it went well or whether it went poorly for them.
Hey, when you look at the quote-unquote #1 receivers in the NFL, You see the A.J. Browns, Jamar Chase, just some big figures out there. I believe JSN can be a number one receiver. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so JSN last year was unbelievably productive from the slot. In fact, it was the most productive slot receiver season we'd seen since 2021 Cooper Kupp. Right now, currently his teammate and a player who, I think we called a wide receiver one when he was in his prime there in Los Angeles, even despite the fact that he was producing a lot from the slot and from these reduced alignments. So he can be a wide receiver one in the sense that he can be your primary target getter. He can have those 12-catch games. He can beat man coverage. He can win in the red zone. Is JSN ever going to be that, kind of paragon that comes to our mind, that image we conjure up of Calvin Johnson and Andre Johnson? I don't know why I'm stuck on the Johnsons, but the Justin Jeffersons, these bigger guys who win on the outside down the field. It's just not where his bread is buttered, and so you need an OC who's willing to work around that. But if you're asking me, man, can JSN be the leading target getter on one of the 10 best passing games in football? Can he be a 120 reception, 1,300-yard player? Yeah, he absolutely can be.
Is that a shift that you think is happening in the NFL? When I played in 08, 9, 10, you wouldn't even dream of your slot receiver being considered a number one guy. What has changed in the NFL that's allowed that to even be a possibility?
So it's an excellent question. There are a few main things. The first is just our pass rates are way higher. And so previously, whereas the slot was on the field for 50, 60, 70% of the snaps because we wanted to get a fullback out there or, have room for a second tight end, now that F position can really belong to a receiver. You have teams that live 85, 90% of the time in 11 personnel, in 3 wide receiver personnel. So one, we're just letting them on the field more. The second thing is that all the defenders are getting smaller, and they're also not allowed to hit as hard. So whereas previously, if I put a 5'11", a $190-pound guy out there, I was worried about him getting tackled for 17 games by some of these hard-hitting safeties coming down off the roof, lighting his bell up, right? Now you can't do that in the same way, and so smaller bodies are more viable at the NFL level, right? Tank Dell is not a good example right now because he just had the gruesome knee injury. But even when you watch Tank Dell be productive for the Texans before the bad knee injury, you're looking out there like, man, that guy's 165 pounds. How is he playing? How is he playing football? Like, this is not a body type that we typically saw, and we were, okay with seeing in previous iterations of the NFL. And then the last thing I would say to the slot is just that as college schemes and college influence have trickled up into the NFL ranks, we're a lot better at scheming up touches for everybody. If we want to, we can choose our tight end to be our primary touch guy, the way he is for the Raiders there in Brock Bowers. If we want to have a back who catches the ball 50, 60, 70 times like Alvin Kamara, we can do that. We have a lot more tools in our toolbox as coordinators. And so if you give Clint Kubiak a team and you say, hey, make a good offense out of this, and he looks and he says, oh, my best receiver, my most talented guy is a slot in JSN, we have a lot more ways than we did 10, 15 years ago to scheme touches for that guy out of the slot. So if we want to make him the star, we can.
Kind of sticking with the outlook for Clint's offense and kind of where this offense wants to go, we heard from everyone, whether it was John Schneider or Mike McDonald, hey, we want to be able to run the ball. We really want to get back to that. If you were the Seahawks heading into this season and your primary goal was we need to be a better run game, what kind of boxes would you want to make sure you ticked, and do you think that they're ticking those?
So I think when you go and you watch what Clint's offense was able to do running the ball last year with the Saints, obviously they had a good line. They were all outside zone, all this wide zone, classic Shanahan stuff. But critically, they were doing it with extended surfaces. We talk about putting 2 tight ends on the formation on the same side. So now to the right of the center, you don't just have a guard and a tackle. You have a guard, a tackle, another dude, and another dude, right? You got 4 guys on that surface. Gives you the ability to really get some displacement. They would get their wide receivers tight to the formation, be able to block with those guys. You need A.J. Barner and Elijah Arroyo to be able to step up and fill some pretty big shoes there at tight end. You need Cooper Kupp and even JSN to be able to dig safeties out. So first things first is all your tight ends and your running backs doing the work that you need them to do. And then the second matter is figuring out the interior of that offensive line. I don't care what scheme you run. I don't care what back you got out there. If guard, center, guard can't do work for you, right, winning on double teams, creating vertical displacement, getting up to the second level, I mean, you're dead in the water, right? Again, it does not matter what scheme you run. Those guys are going to be impactful. And so you look at the first-year emergence for Gray Zabel, what he can be. You look at Anthony Bradford. You look at Olawatimi, and you try to figure out where are these guys good run blocking? How do we maximize these guys? What schemes do we need to run for them? But you need a baseline level of talent there. Otherwise, it's always Kenneth Walker dealing with penetration 3 yards into the backfield, and that's just no way to build a running game.
Hey, rookie Pro Bowler seems to be a thing out here, right? You got Reek Woolen, rookie Pro Bowler, Spoon, rookie Pro Bowler. Is it even fair to expect Morey to be in that mix? What do you expect from him?
Yeah, that's tough, especially because he's going to play a position where you don't really accumulate a lot of counting stats at safety, right? I mean, you certainly can if you spend all that time there in the box. I know they're playing him at the nickel a little bit so far in camp. It's just that's a hard spot to kind of shine, right? I would more so expect like the Arroyo of the world. If he has a big season catching the football, fantasy football numbers, he would get that nod. Morey's a tricky one. They're putting him in a position there in that box safety nickel role for Mike McDonald, where he's got to drink through a fire hose. That is a really diverse job. You have a lot of responsibilities. The moment the offense sends a guy in motion, now you got to come up with 6 different more things to do. You got to blitz, cover, tackle, like that. He's gonna be biting off a lot early doors. And so if I'm watching him on Morey and trying to figure out what this player can be for me, I'll be very frank. I'm expecting, September, October to come with some warts, right? To come with some mental errors, to come with some execution errors. It happened for Kyle Hamilton in that role, and he was, a legendary safety prospect, top 15 pick. I think you're hoping by the back end of year one, he's got his hands around his responsibilities, and now he can make some more impact plays on the blitz, tackling in space, so on and so forth. And so to me, it's going to be a year one ramp-up for Morey, just because of the nature of his inexperience and the nature of the role that they're putting him in.
We got news this morning. Glazer initially, multiple outlets reporting, including ESPN, that John Schneider was extended through 2030. He's already, I think, has the 4th longest tenure of any GM. And Ben, if you were to take kind of a bird's eye view look and your general overview of what you've liked, what you haven't, your takeaway from his time here, I know that can feel impossible to strip away from his time with Pete Carroll, but since 2010, we've seen a lot of moves. How do you feel about just what John Schneider's been able to do here in Seattle?
Yeah, there's no questioning the day 3 success rate that he's had over his time there, bringing young players in and developing them, and certainly a lot of that is Pete because of the coaching staff and being willing to invest in those guys. But then there were players who, a little bit after the Pete era, at the end of the Pete era, he was still able to bring in and get production out of those guys who were day 3 picks. And so I think that the success you see there is significant. There's obviously championship caliber tenure, right? He's been to a Super Bowl. He's gotten himself a ring. Like, that's a thing that happened, so you have some faith in that. I do think he's got to modernize how he thinks about the offensive line, right? That the best teams, Eagles as a Super Bowl winner or otherwise, the best teams are spending money on offensive linemen. They're spending picks on offensive linemen, and then they're doing it again, and then they're doing it again, and then they're doing it again, right? You cannot invest enough in this position, and it tends to be a spot where he wants to color in the margins with, veteran stopgap guys, with middle-round picks. I'd like to see him invest more there on the offensive line. And then I'm curious how this quarterback move is a big move, right? And they are not framing it as a reset. They're more framing it as we think we can maintain the same level of quarterback play while paying less money and getting younger. I'm not personally convinced of that. And so this is a big move for him. Getting the extension done before the dust settles on the Geno-Sam decision, honestly, is a very big deal for John. Because, again, there's a lot of worlds where that looks like a tough decision. There's a lot of worlds that looks good, but there's a lot of worlds where that looks like a tough decision when the dust settles. And so there's work to be done for this version of the Seahawks, which, John Schneider is now in full control of. He's gotten the money indicating he's the guy. Time to go be the guy.
I have a quick follow-up on your point about the offensive line. Don't disagree at all. A fantastic note about, hey, you have to modernize how you invest and what you decide. Do you see that as being an issue around the league? Because, Ben, I always hear, hey, offensive line stuff is an issue around the league. And I've always assumed it was more development or something coming from the college level. But is it also the way that front offices prioritize or don't spending there?
Right. So it's a great point. And I'll tell you, the reason why you always hear about offensive line being a problem is because the 5th best offensive lineman is on the field for 100% of the snaps, right? Every team's 5th wide receiver is no good, but you never hear about this because the 5th wide receiver doesn't go out there, right? But in the case of the offensive line, we need 5 legitimate starters. Because if we've got 4 good starters and then one guy who's a problem, guess what? We're struggling to pass protect, right? Our quarterback's under duress. We're giving up pressure because even though we have a Charles Cross, we've got issues somewhere else. And now we're still leaking in pass protection. And so it's a law of large numbers thing when it comes to the NFL talking about this position. Every team's got a weak guy on the line who gives up some pressure and leads to issues in the pocket. In general, it certainly is a tougher position to develop than other positions, right? You have 7-on-7 ball in high school and in college. It's extra reps for these quarterbacks and receivers that you don't get on the offensive line. It's certainly a tough position to invest in. But, man, like, if we want to use the Eagles as an example, the Eagles had the best offensive line in football last year and then spent 3 picks in this draft on the offensive line because you just cannot stop investing in this position no matter what. And that's, I think, a model that teams like Seattle have to be more willing to adopt.
What are your thoughts on this this running back room? I'm looking at K9. Obviously, out here, he's not going to get tackled. Today, they have no pads on, but he looks healthy. He looks elusive. He looks fast. Charbonnet looks like he's in shape as well. You lose Kenny McIntosh, but I think Damian Martinez can contribute as well. Just your thoughts on this RB room.
I really like Kenneth Walker. I really like Zach Charbonnet. I think both of those guys are good players. I think you've seen both of them be able to control a whole game, quarter to quarter, pole to pole. This is my game. When Walker goes down and Charbonnet has to be the guy, you've seen him be successful in that role. And I think they complement each other nicely, right? Charbonnet with the willingness to get north and south, the ability to run behind his pads, and then Walker with some of the electric playmaking. They can both catch the football as well. I love when both backs can do that. I think it's a good room. And then I like Martinez coming out of Miami. I really did. He's a bruiser. He's going to be a special team guy for you. But 220 pounds is tough to tackle when the ball's in his hands. So, if the ball's getting in his hands, he's going to be able to do some damage. It's a very, very good room. The challenge, as always, is figuring out how do we want to divide up these touches? How many total touches do we want to get this room? And then finicking with that as the season goes on. There's a ceiling for Kenneth Walker in this Clint Kubiak offense that is astonishing, right? It's really, really high up there. I think they're probably going to stay more of a 1A, 1B committee approach. But if they wanted to, and if Walker has a nice, healthy season, there's some worlds where, he has some ludicrous games as the primary back, 20-plus catches in the game in this offense. It's going to be fun to watch.
Ben, I don't know that you're going to have an answer for this one because most top names are currently signed. But, you get to this part of the camp and maybe you have injuries or a veteran who isn't coming back quite yet. Uchenna Nwosu is one of those guys here in Seattle. So it may not be a defensive guy's your answer. But is there maybe a relatively well-named, still a free agent that whether it's Seattle or any number of teams around the league, you're like, man, I'm kind of waiting on this guy to sign and curious where he's going to go?
I think Amari Cooper at wide receiver would make a lot of sense for the Seahawks because I know for a fact that he can line up outside, and that's what he does best, right? He's a prototypical X receiver. He gets up on the line of scrimmage, and you can put him in one-on-one spots. In Buffalo, he, in the first half of the season, he was in Cleveland. He gets traded midseason to Buffalo. And Buffalo's offense it was nice to have him, but they never really ended up needing him. They never ended up wanting to rely on him as this one-on-one winner, as their 3rd and 5 guy. They didn't need that. They just had Josh Allen out there doing Josh Allen things. But I still think Amari Cooper against a league average corner 1 is a guy that you like in isolation, right? He's not going to break up as many big plays he used to, but as like a possession receiver and, again, a guy who can line up outside, I think he has some value. So I'm surprised he's not signed yet. And if he signed in Seattle, that would make a lot of sense to me.
Hey, last one I got for you. You mentioned concerns about investment in the offensive line when it comes to Schneider. How about the offense as a whole? All right, they're spend the 4th least in the NFL when it comes to their offensive weapons. Does that give you concern when it comes to what their performance could be, or do you still feel like even with the offensive line woes, these guys can do enough to push themselves into the playoffs?
Yeah, it worries you. Offense, defense wins championships, as we like to say, but man, that league is increasingly becoming a league in which you got to be able to win on offense. And there's no doubt that I think if you take the Seattle wide receiver room with JSN being who he is now, and with Cooper Kupp being who he is now, you take a tight end room that doesn't necessarily have a proven dude just yet. You say, as far as pass catchers go, this isn't the strongest group in the NFL. This is a below-average group. And then with Sam Darnold, you have a chance of having a good quarterback there, but when you go cheaper at the quarterback position, you're going to be accruing a lot of risk, right? That's an inescapable reality of it. I do think that when this team wins, they're going to win on the back of defense because that's the character of their head coach. And I do think they can win a lot of games because that head coach, Mike Mack, is just so stinking good on the defensive side of the ball. And so you're trying to invest there, become a team that controls, wins with the clock, wins low-scoring games, and you give the keys to Clint Kubiak and say, listen, if you can just do some basic Kyle Shanahan magic dust on this, then, hey, maybe we'll have enough explosive offense to be dangerous here. So it concerns you, but I understand why it's the approach they're going for. That's the character of the team they want to build right now.
NFL analyst for ESPN, Benjamin Solak. And Ben, I just have to say, I'm always blown away when someone responsible for knowing about 32 teams, you feel like you could ask them any single question. I feel like we could ask you about like the fourth wide receiver and you'd have like a full report on what you saw from him. It's just unbelievable. It's so easy. It makes the interview so easy. So
wide receiver 4.
Thank you so much, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Appreciate y'all. Take care.
All right, let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
Turn up our volume a little bit here. I don't know who's in the weight room, but they got a popping back there. Okay, first down. What do you still want to see from the offense during training camp?
I'm still waiting to see a screen look like the Red Sea has parted. There's nothing but 300-pound linemen running down the field, just paving a way for a running back or a wide receiver. When you look at Kubiak's offense, he has that in him. Watched a lot of his film from the Saints, and Kamara's been a recipient of that. Olave was a recipient of that last year. It's hard to kind of judge when one is going to pop because of the tempo of practice. They're not necessarily taking guys to the ground and being super aggressive, but I want to see the defense forward. I want to see them flowing all the way to the right and Sam Darnold flicking that thing to the left, and somebody is butt naked running. I want to look at a play and say that's easily 40 to 60 yards. What that tells me, there's a lot of influence going on, and the running game is working to influence that second and third level. So let me see a screen break one.
Okay. I thought it was like, was it going to be please? No, break one. Second down. Same question, but for the defense.
For the defense, I want to see a series where they are just dominant. Now, it might have happened already. When you're at camp, there are a lot of things that you're looking at, right? I'm looking at secondary, linebackers, defensive line. On the other side, I'm trying to evaluate the quarterback. You only look at certain things, but I don't remember since I've been here seeing the defense go first down, second down, third down, put it on the foot and have that dominance. There have been some situations where the offensive line has jumped or a receiver has jumped, and now it's 1st and 15, and the defense has won that series because of the down and distance. No, I want to see these guys just blow things up. I want to see defensive linemen in the backfield. I want to see receivers getting clamped up. I want to see linebackers dropping into zone and taking away passing lanes from Sam Darnold. There have been moments when they've done it. I'm not sitting here saying the defense hasn't made any plays or whatnot. No, they've made plenty of plays. We saw Morey with a pick. We saw Reek Woolen with a pick. They've made some plays, but I want to see 3 to 4 plays of straight dominance where Sam Darnold and that offense are frustrated. I haven't seen that yet. They've been frustrated because of just some poor decisions or some false starts, but no dominance yet. The defense won the day when they had pads on during day one, but I didn't see that quite yet. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Third down. If things do go as planned, what opportunity do the Seahawks have this year?
Well, we just talked to Ben, and he's concerned about the offensive line. I think when you talk about the concerns of this football team, the first place you can look at is O-line and the quarterback spot. They have an opportunity to kind of erase the way that people think about John Schneider and how he evaluates the offensive line. You have your bookends in Abe Lucas and Charles Cross. You have your center in Oluwatimi. He has to prove and build off of what he did last year. You drafted Gray Zabel, and then at the other guard spot, you got to find somebody. But those first 4 that I mentioned have an opportunity to kind of change the narrative when it comes to how people view John Schneider and the way he gets this offensive line going and with the talent or whatnot. I think there's enough talent there. We're still looking to see who's going to fill that other guard spot. But if they can get the run game going, if they can look explosive, we might feel different about this. And then pass protection, but I think that's up to Kubiak as well. They haven't brought many guys in. I've been waiting for a veteran to come in like a Will Hernandez or somebody, and they just haven't done it yet. Doesn't mean they're not going to do it, but it does tell me that they're not in a rush to take reps away from these guys. They want these guys to grow and develop. That's going to be up to the coaching staff as well. But if they can become a top 15, top 12 rushing team, you start to change the way you look at this. If they can protect Sam Darnold, he's not one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the game. He has some responsibility with that as well. You got to let go of the football. You can start changing the way you look at things. They've done a great job in the draft the last 2 or 3 seasons. Hopefully it shows up on the offensive line.
Fourth down. Who's been solid in training camp but hasn't gotten any love?
Man, we got to go with Mr. Drew Lock. He comes out here looking like a real quarterback. Shirt tucked in, no pads on today. And he's the forgotten quarterback. People know that he's here, but they're not really paying attention to him. The question is always, can Sam Darnold do it? The other question is, can Milroe develop when it's all said and done and have his opportunity? But what about the number 2 guy? We've seen over the past couple of years, you have to use the number 2 guy sometimes. And Drew Lock has came in and performed well. From what I've seen so far this year, he looks like a pro quarterback, and he's ready to go if needed. So big ups to Sam Darnold, man. He deserves some love because he keeps getting forgotten in this quarterback mix, which I get it, I understand, because people have seen Sam Darnold already, right? He was with the Broncos. He was with the Seahawks. Who was he with last year? The Giants. He was with the Giants last year, right? Drew Lock. Drew Lock with the Giants last year. So once you've seen quarterbacks in several different jerseys and they haven't had the success that they would have liked, you naturally start to forget about them. It's like, oh, that's old news. That's how people are viewing Drew Lock at this point. You never want to see your number 2 quarterback play because that means 2 things. Either your number 1 is hurt or he's just not getting it done. So let's not forget about Drew Lock. If needed or called upon, I think he'll be just fine.
How would you describe this quarterback room as a whole? Because I've heard 2 things on the opposite ends of the spectrum. I've heard, oh my God, it's like maybe the deepest room. When you think about it, you don't have the top tier talent, but if you were going to have a question mark at quarterback, at least you've got 3 that have some interesting upside. Then I've also heard it's the worst.
Nah, New Orleans is the worst. Cleveland's right up there. Too many rookies over there. We'll see what happens. Kenny Pickett didn't get any throws in the last training camp practice. The New York Giants, is Russell Wilson done? Jameis Winston is there. You got a rookie over there as well.
Stop not believing in Russ.
Hey, listen, I hope Russ has a great season. I really do. I have nothing but love for the man. But no, it's not the worst. I think it's intriguing because you have a guy who has to prove it, a guy who has had opportunity but hadn't taken care of it, and then probably one of the most athletic quarterbacks of the game in Milroe. I think it's interesting. I wouldn't describe it as the worst.
Yeah. Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
The Mariners are on tonight. They go for a series win against the A's. Pregame at 6 p.m., first pitch at 7:05 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know coming up at 1:45, 866-979-3776.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
I was always a guy that, like, if I could get an interception, man. How many did you have in your career? 3. How many should you have had? If you, as you put it, if you didn't have frying pan hands. Yeah, I would say probably double that. When I was in high school, I played in a state championship game. I had 2 interceptions in one game, and I was like, that was my favorite game. I just loved that.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
The Grammy-nominated voice that's touched millions with songs that define love is coming to Muckleshoot Event Center. Brian McKnight. One night, one voice, one memory that will last a lifetime. Get tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com. Brian McKnight. Thursday, August 7th. Only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking in the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword micro to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say micro to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure talk.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. Or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Big Trees is Washington's premier tree sales and transplant company. With over 30 years of experience, Big Trees provides trees of all sizes for residential and commercial projects. Our 30-acre nursery features thousands of trees and hundreds of varieties that thrive in our Pacific Northwest climate. For hours, directions, and to see our wide selection of trees, visit BigTreeSupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
Dave Wyman joined by Dr. Daniel Landis from Swedish CyberKnife. Dr. Landis, when treating prostate cancer, what can patients expect during CyberKnife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out, you essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you. Which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/22/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of 1 unlimited intro line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. 1 discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in 15, it's What I Need to Know. We haven't talked a lot of Mariners for the last hour and a half, despite the trade deadline being around the corner. We've just had so many Seahawks guests. But if you've got some Mariners questions or any questions, even non-sports, get those sent in now. 866-979-3776. Bump, a tweet here from Greg Rosenthal. Players not currently on an NFL roster. Stop me when you hear one that you like.
All right.
Okay. Zadarius Smith. Keenan Allen.
I like him.
Okay. Asante Samuel Jr.
I mean, yeah, this defense just doesn't need that.
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper, our boy Ben. Ben was talking about Amari Cooper. He said he liked him because he knows he can line up outside right now, and that's probably something that this offense could use. I think you're good for the slot. You got JSN, you got Koo who can do the slot as well. Jake Bobo is good in the slot if he gets that job. But the outside, yeah, and you have guys, no disrespect to dudes who are here, right? MVS will be the #1 outside option. You also have Horton, who was drafted at Colorado State. You got Ricky White. You have Sims as well, and you have Cody White. I'm sorry, Plumlee, I think, is more of a slot guy as well. I think I got everybody covered. But, no, that's a veteran outside weapon, and I think he would go for the cheap. Maybe not. Right now, his market value is $18 million. So if you can get that down, then I think you can kick the tires on that, but it has to be a friendly type of deal, man. I think $18 million for Amari Cooper right now is too much, but the longer he waits, the more that market value goes down. So if they get him late, I'd be okay with that, but I also think that you need to save room for Horton to grow as well.
Who could help this team more, adding Amari Cooper or adding Jadeveon Clowney? Both of them are free agents.
I would say probably Jadeveon Clowney, because I think you can get him for cheaper. And you're not depending on him. Like, if you bring in Amari Cooper over here, you expect him to be that number 4 receiver. And at the tender age of 31, they start looking at you different, even though Cooper Kupp is up there as well. Both can help this ball club out, but they bring more value if they come in for the cheap. Amari Cooper still has played some good football as of late. I think we look at him a bit differently than we look at Jadeveon Clowney. I'm trying to pull up his stats right here from last year, if I can find it. But yeah, so Amari Cooper last year had 547 yards, 4 touchdowns with the Buffalo Bills. Played 2 years in Cleveland before that, where he had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. I think that the 500 to 700-yard range is possible, but I think over here with the Seahawks, you don't need him to do that, because you have JSN, who I feel like is going to go for over 1,000. You got Cooper Kupp, who can be your 500 to 700, and you have MVS, who could be your 400 to 500-yard guy. You would ask him to come in and just be good in the red zone and make a few plays. So I don't want to pay $18 million for that. As far as Jadeveon Clowney, I think he's ready to take whatever a team is willing to give him because of his production over the last year or so. So yeah, they both can help the team, but it's whoever's cheaper, and it looks like that would be Jadeveon Clowney.
Adding Amari Cooper feels like a Steelers-type move that they would make this year, because what you're looking at is, like, who's a guy who maybe he's a little bit older, but can come in, potentially round out a group. And I know that the Steelers were already dealing with wide receiver depth beyond Pickens before acquiring DK and then trading him, and they've since added to that group, including at tight end for their pass catchers. So cool, maybe they've solved it. But, like, when I look at the Seahawks, I don't see them as in, hey, our chips are in this year mode. So I worry that you'd move on from or risk not getting time for a younger wide receiver or, someone who could spend more time with you at the expense of getting Cooper. And if Cooper takes your offense to the next level, worth it. Great, fantastic. Your offense, could use as much help as it can get as it figures its identity out. But I'm like, who do you lose?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I look at Horton and he gives me like was it Richardson vibes, the Colorado receiver that they had over here for a little bit. Yes, Paul Richardson. Yeah, it gives me Paul Richardson vibes. So you want to allow him to grow in this offense, and Amari Cooper would just stunt that. Whereas a Jadeveon Clowney would come in, and everyone's still going to get reps because he's going to be so low in that rotation. But that's the tough part about this time of the year, is that you want to get better, but you also want to allow your draft picks and your young guys to get better. And how do you stunt the growth? By bringing in a veteran who you know is going to do the right things, be at the right place, and just be efficient.
I'm going to be so honest with you guys. I have, over the course of 4 hours, sold myself on the idea of Jadeveon Clowney. Are you guys also being convinced? I think it's just it's the benefit of the expectations for Clowney are wildly different than they were the first time around in 2019. He was 26 years old. I remember Jake and Brock chest bumping when like Ziggy Ansah and Jadeveon Clowney were both going to be here. And why wouldn't they? Because we were all like, oh my God, what's going to happen with this pass rush? Is it going to be, the best front seven in a long time? And it didn't quite work out, and Clowney got hurt. He had like his single best game of the season, and then got hurt either like at the end of that game or maybe the next week, and so you never really got to see him take off. But man, he had 9.5 sacks in 2023. Not a long time ago. In 2023, he had 9.5 sacks.
Offense?
And Mike McDonald's Baltimore Ravens defense. He is familiar with this defense. He's a veteran. He is 31, going on 32 for this season, and I think because, especially if you're a college football fan, you've known of him for so long, it feels like he should be 35, but
easily
he's not.
He's a vampire.
He was a rookie at 21.
Yeah, that's nuts. No, I think you made good points. It's expectations for your dollar. if you are bringing in Amari Cooper, what you're saying is my number 1, 2, and 3 need help right now, and I don't think that's the situation when you look at the receiving core. I think they're fine. The reason why he brings value to this team is because you're losing depth with the Chinonwosu on that edge with the O-line / outside linebackers, and and you got to take advantage of who he is right now in his career. And who he is right now in his career is a guy who's going to wait around and take advantage of someone being banged up or just needing some depth. So I've sold myself on Clowney if the money is right. And I want people to realize he will, if he were to come here, he's not being brought here for 9.5 sacks. You get 3 sacks out of that dude. You get 3 sacks out of him. You get 25% of the snaps during the regular season, and he plays in 14 games. I think that would match his contract.
Okay, I have one more name. Will Hernandez. He got medical clearance. He announced he's cleared to return from his injury. That was just like 24 hours ago. It was just a day ago. I don't know that he's like, a perfect fit for Seattle, but would you either like to see or anticipate them adding to the offensive line? Man,
you already know, and that's a name that I've been talking about for months now, but obviously you got to wait and see what his health looks like and all that good stuff. He was with the Cardinals last year. I think this is the veteran move that I would appreciate. I think there's room for Anthony Bradford in the rest of the game to develop and grow there, but you need that emergency kit, and I think that is what Will Hernandez could be. I don't know what he would be asking for. I don't think it would be prime dollar at this point, especially coming off an injury, but I know that he would help this offensive line. And it's all on how these coaches view this offensive line too. Are they excited about the battle at the guard position, or do they feel like, okay, we're a little further behind than we need to be? Perspective is a lot, and I'm just not sure how this coaching staff or this organization views that extra guard spot on the other side of the table.
Another MLB rumor coming out ahead of the trade deadline. Could we see the Mariners make a move today from Joel Sherman? The Mariners are making a play to try to acquire Joe and Duran from the Twins. Nothing finalized. He said many teams have been in on the star closer. Expectation is Duran will be traded today. Well, I would hope so before the trade deadline.
Yeah. No, I love that. We've said this on the show plenty of times. It looks shaky at times when that bullpen is out there. If it's not Brash or Munoz, and even they've had their moments, they're human beings, not going to be perfect. But, no, you need some help there. Going into the season, man, it's crazy how things change. Going into the season, you're thinking the rotation is on point. You're looking at the bullpen, the arms they got over there, like, oh, man, they just hold on until Brash gets here. You'll be good. Santos is going to hold it down. And then things happen, and you have to pivot. No, I'd be extremely happy if that deal were to go down.
Curtis, in the last 30 seconds before we head into what I need to know in a little bit here, would that be a high leverage reliever that does enough for Seattle, or would you still want to see more added?
I think that would be enough in terms of relief help. Yeah, you're not going to find many other guys on the caliber that Duran is, so I would be more than satisfied with that.
All right, what I need to know coming your way next. Get your questions in 866-979-3776.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach McDonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Hey friends, Stacy here to tell you that Wayscar Ford, Isuzu in Auburn is celebrating its 103rd year anniversary, and their biggest sales event of the year is going on right now. Take advantage of their great pricing on Fords, Isuzus, and commercial vehicles, plus huge discounts in their service and parts departments. What about those of you who want to sell a car? I've also got good news. Wayscar Ford's vehicle profit sharing plan is the best deal out there. They purchase your car and pay you upfront, which is great, but then when they resell your old car, they share 50% of that profit with you. too. They've already paid back over $800,000 to customers. At Wayscar Ford, there are absolutely no games, no gimmicks, and no pressure. That's backed up by a full 5-day or 500-mile no questions asked return policy on absolutely every vehicle they sell. Change your mind for any reason, bring the vehicle back for a full 100% refund. If you're like me, my car is from Wayscar Ford. You want a good price, a low-key, no-pressure sales experience, and a full 5-day, 100% satisfaction guarantee. Go to Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Check them out for yourself at wayscarford.com.
It is that time of year. I cannot wait for the weather to get warm like it is now on consecutive days. That means I can break the motorcycle out, ride to work, ride all over the place, and I love it more than just about anything. But I also know that it's not a matter of if, but when you get in an accident, what are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you, when you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who live it. Law Tigers has been a part of the writing community for nearly 25 years nationwide. They're here 24/7. 365 days a year because writers deserve real support when they need it. Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to when they are in need. Law Tigers is out at all the events and supporting all clubs and shops. The Law Tigers are always by your side. Your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. The Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at winning 4 tickets to see the Seattle Seahawks host the Kansas City Chiefs on August 15th. Just open the Seattle Sports app, tap the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances. Enter daily from July 30th through August 4th. Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
Recovery doesn't have to be boring. This event proves it. Have fun with sobriety at the 5th Annual Recovery Fun Fest at Seward Park Amphitheater, Saturday, August 9th. From noon till 10, there's going to be nonstop fun and events. They'll be giving away a free electric car at the end of the night. Receive 25 tickets towards the free car drawing just by showing up, and win more tickets throughout the day by engaging in fun activities. The fun starts at noon with free picnic and carnival-style food. Be a kid again and join drop-in kickball, softball, dodgeball, and volleyball games. Recovery Fun Fest kicks off at noon with open 12-step meetings at 1 and 4 p.m. with national speakers at 8 p.m. Lip sync battle at 9 and car giveaway at 10, where you must be present to win. Children under 18 can give their tickets to a parent or guardian or a friend over 18. The 5th Annual Recovery Fun Fest at the Seward Park Amphitheater, August 9th. Brought to you by Freedom Hall in Greenwood. This event is fun and free. RecoveryFunFest.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. First one, what I need to know. Interpret this however you want.
All right.
They said most epic sports successes and failures.
Oh, sports successes. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant to
Epic
$50 million.
Yeah.
$50 million. He wasn't supposed to be here.
You
he wasn't
mentioned
supposed
Cooper
to do
Cup
this.
earlier
Did I?
when you were like, he didn't come from, like, you know, you get these like private.
Oh, that was an off-air conversation.
Oh.
Why are you telling my business?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying. But
Why are you telling my
But
business?
the epic success to me is players who like start out, or they're guys that are like not not first round overall picks. They're not guys that like people pay a lot of attention to.
Yeah.
They're not.
I'm taking Brock Purdy, man.
Yeah.
Then Tom Brady.
What about failures?
Failures.
Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus. There's another quarterback I won't mention because go Cougs.
Oop.
Ryan Leaf, also.
Go Dogs.
That's my dude, man. I got to work with him. I
don't have to work with him. I was the one who said it.
What about a combination of epic success and failure? For instance, the Patriots 2007 season. Combination of epic success and ultimately
you can say
a
the
failure.
Chiefs this year too, 15-1. In the last game they threw because they didn't play anybody in the regular season.
Oh, I think
week
the
18.
2007 Patriots beat the Chiefs.
Oh yeah,
like
for sure. That's just
7 out of 10.
another example.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Failures.
Oh man.
What?
Sonics losing to the Bulls, man. Sonics losing to the Bulls. Hold on, let me ask this
That's not a
question.
failure. That was a 72-win Bulls team.
Nah, I mean it's
not
a success.
failure.
It's a success for the Sonics. And then they failed when they got to the finals.
They took the Bulls further than any other team did that era in the finals.
Hey, where'd you grow up, Curtis?
Bump.
Epic failure.
Bump. It's not a
116.
failure to lose to a 72-win Bulls team. Where were your
failed. You
Lakers
didn't
that
win.
year? They were nowhere.
You didn't win. I got 17, man. Come on. We can't do that.
In season, you keep forgetting the in season. I keep telling you that.
You can't fail and lose to the greatest team ever. That's not how it works.
Any more epic successes? I mean, there are many, many stories.
I'm sure there are. We just can't think of any.
I know, but I like the Brock.
Oh, they said the Mariners 116 win season.
Yeah, I mentioned.
Text line.
Yeah, that one was definitely a failure. And a success. Okay. 866-979-3776. They said Russell Wilson, failure post Seahawks. He's kind of both stories too, though, because you think about it, you're 5'10", wink. And you were a third-round pick who no one expected to be a franchise starter, and then you were a starter, went to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, went to another one for 10 years. I'm not like the biggest Russell Wilson fan. I don't think he seems especially likable, and yet that's still a success story.
It is. No one expected him to do any of that stuff.
And then it completely right off a cliff.
That's just the life of most NFL careers right there.
That was really sudden, though. It's not like he was at his best in his final year or two, but he was also dealing with nagging injuries for the first time. So I think most of the NFL world, I think fairly thought, well, let's see what happened in Denver. It was a pretty good trade. They get their quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, Broncos. Thanks for the first round pick. Derek Hollick's or second round pick. What I need to know. Best picnic meal.
Fruit and sandwich. Keep it fresh. Gonna be outside. It's gonna be hot. Keep it fresh.
I don't like picnics or camping or sitting on the ground. What I need to know.
Hey, can I show UW some love real quick?
Absolutely.
So I went to speak at this broadcasting camp yesterday, and I'd never really been on the campus, right? I've been just to Dempsey Center and all that good stuff. And I don't know where I was at. It was, like Oaks Hill, I think was the building, something Oak. and there's like a grass field in the middle of it, and people are playing catch. And I was walking the campus like, oh,
Cool,
I get it.
huh?
I get it.
Yeah.
UW's campus is fire. I will give you that.
UW's campus is absolutely gorgeous.
It is.
And then also can be really alienating because there's so many students.
I mean, that's college
not
for
a
the
college,
most part, though.
yeah, but it's not a college town.
No.
College towns have I think, a slightly different vibe than a college in a major metropolitan area.
But then I leave, and I make a left, and I was giving somebody some money. That happened that quick.
What I need to know. What's an event you missed, you were dying to go to, but there was something else going on and you couldn't get out of it? So it's one of those like, oh, man, I was going to go to this amazing win, and I didn't.
In hindsight, I'm mad I missed it, but I got invited to the Morgan Wallen concert while he was here, and I couldn't go, so I wasn't really tripping. But then I went back and listened to his album, and I was like, yeah, that probably would have been kind of fun.
Felix's Perfect Game. I'm like many Seattleites. I was given tickets to it by someone at our office. The people that worked, so we had a shared space, and whatever the company was in the hallway that shared a hallway with us had all these tickets to the Mariners game, and they couldn't go, so they literally walked over and were like giving them to us.
Dang.
And we were like, oh, it's the middle of the day. Like, no, that's okay.
Dang.
And then that was it. But I think that there are so many people that have that story. It's a matinee. There are so many people that are like, yeah, I thought about going, but then I didn't end up going. Favorite WWE wrestler?
The Rock. Easy.
Curtis, I don't have an answer for this.
You're looking
Curtis,
for
you
me
struck
to
me
give
as a
you an
Steve
answer?
Austin guy.
It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, when you hear that glass shatter, you know,
you know
it's
it's
coming.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bump, what's the best course you've ever played?
One of the courses at Bandon Dunes. You can go McDonald's, you can go Trails, all those courses. There's 5 courses over there, I believe. All of them.
What I need to know, you are outdoors in one of these two temperatures, 32 degrees or 92 degrees. Which would you rather be standing in?
92. 92.
Would any of
I'll
us
take
choose
92.
32?
No,
Yeah.
I would not.
No. Like, Matt?
I thought about it because I'm like, you can layer up, right? But 92 is just, you can do whatever you want in 92.
You're just uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
like maybe you're getting, you're dripping sweat, burn, uncomfortable, hot, but like 30, freezing cold is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, but in 32, like you're just you're staying still. You know, when you're so cold, you just kind of tense up a bit.
What's the coldest temperature you ever played a game in? Like a guesstimate.
It's like -10 or something like that.
-10?
It was in Canada.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous.
Bump, I'm new at golf. Should I book a lesson to learn the basics?
Repeat the question, sorry.
I'm new at golf. Should I book a lesson to learn the basics?
Yeah, yep. Get you about 3 or 4 lessons. Give you a nice little foundation, and then go after it and spend all your money.
What I need to know, let's see. They want to know your bucket list golf course.
Haven't played Pebble, haven't played Torrey, will never play Augusta because I'm not a billionaire.
How much do you think it costs? Because you have to be a member.
You got to be a member. And
How much do you think that costs?
Let's see.
Can you even find out online? I bet it's like it's costs so much money and it's so exclusive that you can't even like look up prices. They're like, if you need to look up prices, you just can't afford it.
Let's see. How much for an Augusta
Those
membership?
richies.
$40,000 down. $40,000 annually.
Crazy.
And then $40,000 down, and then $7,000 to $10,000 a month.
A month.
A month, Craig.
It's simply not for me. Simply not for me. All right, Wyman and Bob coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
I was always a guy that, like, if I could get an interception, man.
How many did you have in your career?
3.
How many should you have had? If you, as you put it, if you didn't have frying pan hands.
Yeah, I would say probably double that. When I was in high school, I played in a state championship game. I had 2 interceptions in one game, and I was like, that was my favorite game. I just loved that.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed all in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data, except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
The 2025 Seahawks season is almost here. Get fitted for game days with jerseys, caps, and tees, including the 2025 training camp collection. Visit the Seahawks Pro Shop at the Landing in Renton and Lumen Field or online at Seahawks.com/Pro Shop.
Ken's Pool and Patio reminds parents swimming is a healthy outlet for kids if we remember to put safety first. Make sure your children are visible at all times by a lifeguard or responsible adult. Sign them up for swimming lessons and provide a flotation device for added safety. Always check swimming conditions in advance and remind your kids to never swim alone. Best wishes to all our kids from the entire team at Ken's Pool and Patio, your family-owned full-service pool company, proudly serving you for over 50 years. Online at kenspool.com.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I thought I'd book a trip to Italy to celebrate retiring.
We didn't speak Italian.
We didn't then. We do now. Because of Babbel.
Babbel is the refreshingly easy-to-use app for learning a new language. Babbel uses immersive lessons to teach you vocabulary and grammar in a way that sticks. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement, $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill